All personnel, clear the launch platform. All personnel, clear launch platform. Disneyland is your land.
The Leaving Today podcast, the show about the news, history, and attractions of the Disneyland Resort.
Disneyland is your land.
Well, come on, Wendy. Let's go.
But where are we going?
To Neverland.
Neverland.
Hello. Welcome to the Leaving Today podcast, episode number 219. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, this morning, this evening, whenever it is, and however it is. We very much appreciate it. My name is Mark, one of the co-hosts here of the LTP. Sitting to the right of me is the Trail Master of Puppets himself, Udi.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Sitting to the left of me via FaceTime is Becky.
Hello.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Super fantastic, as always.
That's great.
Also super fantastic because we have a special guest / friend in the house. It's our good friend from up north, I might say. It's Marcis in the house.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Yes, anytime. Whenever Marcis wants to come over, he just says, "Hey, man, I want to come over," and we make it happen.
Yeah, he answered the door. I'm like, who's this guy? Oh, hey. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, Marcis, he did answer the door. He's been here since like last week.
I know, it's his house now.
I was really excited for this show.
Yes. So today we're going to talk about the news, and we also talk about a trip report. And but before all that, a couple things. Today's show is sponsored by you, the listeners. If you'd like to help out with that, you can make it super simple. Just go to leavingtodaypodcast.com, click on the support tab. We have a Patreon link for that. Also on Instagram, we do have a link tree on there that'll point you to where you can buy shirts to help out the show and Patreon. And all of this does, it goes towards gear. It goes towards hosting fees. It goes towards software that allows us to do LTP Lounge and that kind of stuff. You think you buy churros and things with it? No, we don't. We actually put it to real good use.
Yep.
So if you feel like that's something you want to do, cool. We make it super simple for you. Also, I want to say, if you're listening to the show, again, thank you so much for supporting podcasting and podcasters. You are supporting independent thought and creativity. Yeah, so I want to say thank you to that.
Yep, absolutely. We're gonna keep on going on with this because it's super important. I'm gonna keep on doing it every show. More voices, more opinions, more points of view are what we need right now. And anytime you're out there in the podcast space listening, that you're opening yourself up. So I encourage all of you. Thank you for listening to us and spending time with us. We appreciate it to no end. It's why we do what we do. But get out there, listen to more voices, take more information in, more, not less. Break the silos, and we'll all be better for it. The other thing I'm going to say, by the time this drops, I'm going to say this. There will be a little album out by my good friend sitting over to the left of me here, Mark. Edge of Gray.
Yay.
Edge of Gray, yes.
That will be out by the time this episode drops. So please do me a favor. If you can, go to edgeofgray.com.
Yeah.
Check it out and go buy. I already have mine pre-ordered, so I can't wait. For me, it's a couple days. So you guys do me a favor, get out there and support our good friend Mark.
Thank you. Yeah, it'll be on all major platforms that you can think of starting Tuesday afternoon, West Coast time, I would imagine. iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Tidal, Amazon. Did I say that already? Yeah, so it shall be there. But I'll have physical CDs out for purchase, and vinyl will be out later this year. So thank you for that plug.
Yeah.
And then, actually, one last thing about that music. From one musician to another, Marcis, I did check out your video of you doing True Love Ways.
Oh.
Loved it.
Oh, thank you.
That's actually one of my favorite songs anyways. I just, one of those songs that gets lost in the shuffle of other things. People don't really, it's one of those songs that people probably don't know the name of it, but they've heard it. I go like that song. And I was like, oh, that must have been pretty emotional for you to do that.
You mean for my son's
Yes,
wedding?
yes.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, I don't feel stage fright or pressure at
Yeah,
all when I'm
yeah.
performing, especially because the kind of music I do, it's like, you can be sloppy with it, but
Yeah, your music is really fun just to go out and have a good
Yeah,
time with.
yeah, it's
Not my music is not that way.
No.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is you can't call us both musicians. We are not on the same level. I am an entertainer and a performer. I am not a musician.
Okay.
But yeah, that was definitely the highlight of my musical career, was playing for my son's first dance. So
Great.
Yeah, I thought it was
super
wonderful,
special.
Marcus. I was like, all right,
Thank you.
Yeah.
I couldn't even make it through the whole thing. I was like, I'm gonna turn this off because it's just a great song and what was going on in that. It's like, so kudos to
Well,
you.
I think the video I posted was, I think it was the one my wife filmed. So
I don't
if
know
it
who
was,
filmed it.
then you probably heard some crying over the video too.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, well, I do hope that you do find some entertainment in our podcast. It was something you guys look forward to every other week to help offset everything else that's going on in your lives. So today, I think it's going to be a fun podcast. We're going to talk a lot about the parks, of course. Yeah.
Lounge.
Oh, the lounge. So again, if you need more LTP in your life, and I don't know who doesn't,
No.
every other Thursday night from 6:30 to 7:30 Indy time, that's Pacific time, Udi and I get together and we talk for about an hour and 10 minutes. We try to keep for an hour.
30 last time.
Well, we had an issue last time.
Yeah, true.
There's an issue.
Yeah.
Things never really run smooth when you're trying to go live.
No.
But it is a good time. We had Wendy showed up. And
In chat.
and the chat, and some other people were there too. The usual suspects. But it's a good conversation about all of Disney stuff,
Yeah,
Disneyland
and
stuff.
who else dropped in?
Huh?
And who else dropped in?
I forgot who else did.
Jess.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jess. Jess showed up. Yeah, that was the whole thing. I'm sorry. Yeah, Jess Jess did join us live.
Yeah.
But Wendy did on the
chat.
on the chat. So
Yeah.
so Jess
Oh,
is
cool.
very much alive and well.
Yeah. She sends everybody her regards, by the way.
Yes, and she'll be on.
Great.
She'll be on
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
She's trying to get things going.
Yep.
Can I also just briefly say I had a listener reach out to me, and they also do not understand how some people in this room do not like Nutella.
Oh,
I have a more sophisticated palate, I guess.
Which is probably true.
well, okay. So between then and now, I think Becky and I we had a picture somewhere on Instagram or something that we showed the cookie opened up, right?
Yeah.
That actually looked good.
Yeah, when you actually see it opened up, it does look different.
Okay.
And I will definitely try it, but again, I'm not running to get Nutella product
No.
stuff. But I mean,
Yeah.
if that was Reese's peanut butter cup or something.
Oh man, I'm breaking.
True,
I'm breaking.
Reese's peanut butter cups would be great.
I'm breaking
too.
through doors to get to that.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, people here are thinking, I want to talk Disneyland. So let's get to it.
Okay.
And again, we're one of those open and honest Disneyland podcasts, and we just like to keep it real. Yeah, here we go. So opening question is, hey, Epic Universe opened in Orlando. Soft opening this past week. Really, it's media previews, really, I guess is really how it is. Influencer preview, which kind of pisses me off a little bit. I wish they wouldn't do that.
Agreed.
But this is really the biggest theme park that's open in the United States in probably 20 years, I would imagine. And I have not done a full review of it, but I've seen, because I don't mind watching spoilers on this, because I don't plan on going to Florida within the next few years anyways, although we did talk about maybe 5 years from now or something. No, 28 maybe, 29 maybe. But anyways, Epic Universe opened to the media influencers this week, and if you want to watch it, you can on YouTube. Lots of cool things going on there. And I know Becky's seen some of the stuff. Udi did not do his homework, and I did not expect Marcus to do it anyways.
Yeah.
But my question is, what are your thoughts on how this impacts Disney World and Disneyland in general, like right now? Because what is Disney's answer to this?
Well, we've been talking about it for a while now, off and on, because it is going to impact on the park. To be 100% honest, I've kind of stayed away from looking at any kind of prediction about what it's going to do to Disney because we don't know. So I think that it is absolutely 100% going to have an adverse effect on what's going on with Walt Disney World. There's no way it won't. What I've seen from is very limited as far as because to be honest, it's not my thing. A lot of the IPs and stuff, I'm like, all right, it's cool, but I'm not like into it.
Okay.
Now, what I have seen is pretty awesome. Like aesthetically, it's awesome. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
And I'm glad because I've said it before that Disney's been sitting on top of the mountain forever. I mean, since the beginning of really theme parks, if you really want. Disney as a company, they need this real competition right now.
Yeah.
Because it is the only thing, well, it is going to be a major, let me clarify, it is going to be a major contributing factor into them kicking it up and getting back to what they need. Because if not, they're going to become a second-class citizen in their own, what you can argue is their main genre. They created the theme park, really. When you look at it, they didn't create the amusement park, but they have created the theme park. So
Who's that?
Disney, really?
Well,
No. But if you think about it,
Knott's was there before.
no. But Knott's is not Knott's. You don't say, "Hey, man, I'm going to Knott's." It's Disneyland.
Oh, sure.
I think
So-
he means like it transformed a theme
They
park
they
to
made
something more.
right exactly.
and
They
that
they
fit
made
everybody.
they made the modern theme park. They
yes,
made
yes,
that.
yes.
So that is what I'm
do not
talking
disagree with you. Okay, I understand.
So that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So I'm glad that this has happened, and I wouldn't mind going, but I'm not going to be.
Chomping at the bit.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. But I think if you just look at it from a very logical point of view, it's going to have an adverse effect, and it's going to drive the already dwindling numbers down further.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be the things like Bob Iger has been so worried about his legacy, which is such a conceited point of view to look at it.
Okay.
And these are the things that are going to drive him to do something before he's gone. Because at this point, if he leaves the company now, with what, this next year?
26, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What is he going to be leaving? What's going to be his no
A legacy.
Look at the legacy he's leaving.
Yeah.
I forget the 20 years prior.
Yeah.
Look at okay, you walked into a company, it was in trouble, blah, 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 all that. You can look through everything, but what are you leaving behind? If you're leaving a flaming dumpster,
It's not a flaming dumpster.
well, no, but I'm just being
Sure.
hyperbolic. But
Yeah.
but if you leave something in a bad way, then that is your legacy. It doesn't matter all the things you did. It's like, oh, he did all these great things, but when he left, everything was going downhill, and he just jumped ship. That's how it's going to come off.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Becky, what are your thoughts on all this Epic Universe?
So I think Epic Universe looks fantastic.
Mm.
I have loved everything I've seen, especially related to like the Donkey Kong and the Super Mario area.
Yeah.
Looks just like I want to go there,
Mhm.
and the Harry Potter areas.
Oh my
connecting
gosh.
All that. They like transport you to that book. Like
Yep.
you're in the movie or you're
Yep.
in the book.
Yep.
And that I think is amazing. I loved Universal whenever we went a few years ago. I do want to go visit. I've been having these thoughts though, like, would I want to go all the way to Florida and only go to Universal?
Mm.
And at first I looked at everything. I'm like, yeah, I will do that. I don't think I could go there and not go to one or two of the Disney parks.
Yeah.
Which also brings me to say, I think Universal is going to do amazing. And I think they're at the top of their game right now with
Mhm.
all of the technology and everything that they're putting into place. I think it will force Disney to up its game.
Yeah.
I think that they'll have to compete. But also, I don't think that Universal is ever going to surpass Disney because there's so much like sentimental, or how would I put this?
No.
There's just so much nostalgia
Mhm.
around Disney that I don't think it's ever going to take the place of Disney, but I think it will force them to have to kind of keep up in certain areas. I also think that they're going to do some specials to get people to visit their park, which I've noticed, like they had dining specials.
Yep.
Like on the dining plan, the hotel stays have been on special and like good rate. So just booking a total package, I think that they're doing that to get people there. But I guess long story short, I don't feel that even with how great it looks, it's ever going to take the place of Disney, or like,
Yeah.
it's never going to be number one, but maybe that's just in my book. It's never going to be number one.
I disagree.
You do?
Yeah, I disagree. I think because all the specials and whatever they can do to try to bring people to the park, if the park doesn't give you a product you want to go to, it doesn't matter. So I'm not saying it will, but it definitely has the potential to, because the one thing that Universal looks like they're doing is that they're motivated by getting Disney off the top of the mountain. And that is a powerful thing when you want to be number one, and when number one is saying, hey, we're number one. And it is a perfect storm for this to happen. Now, I don't know if it will happen, obviously, but I think that if Disney doesn't respond quickly, it will. You're right. We're right on the path for it to happen. We will, and it'll only be a couple years, and you're going to start seeing the numbers shift, and that's when then you obviously we'll have a better picture. But yeah.
Well, I also haven't stayed as up to date on what's going on at Disney World since I don't have a trip planned right now.
Yeah.
But it did look like, based on just little info I've seen, that they are adding a couple new shows, and and a couple
shows. Yeah.
that way,
See what I'm talking
which
about?
I think, but I think I feel like that is a response, but it may not be like adequate enough.
Okay. Let me add this in here too. They want to add like Cars Land or whatever it was, or that offer or whatever.
Yeah.
But
That's the sake of Rivers of America.
Exactly my point.
Oh,
You
okay.
cannot do that. You cannot do that because you're burying your past for a future that's not even secure. So
Right.
the
Well, the
expansion.
villains area.
Well, but that is enough. That's what I'm saying. You cannot destroy what you've had, which people love, because you're going to put something else in. You need to add more, not take away and then add. So it's like, here, let me take away half your sandwich. I'll give you a quarter of what I took back to you. Okay, cool. But no, you took away a part of it that you didn't even take away. So let me have all of that and add onto it. So don't take away my sandwich. Just add fries to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like add more to it. I already like that. Don't take away from it. Add more. And until they figure that out, they're setting themselves up to get taken over.
Marcus, have you been out to Disney World?
I have not. I pay zero attention to what's going on in Florida because it doesn't affect my life.
Okay.
I do view things, though, similar to the way that Becky does personally. Like, that's why I don't go to Universal here in California. Like, I love Universal.
Yeah.
I'm very much into classic cinema and everything, so there's a lot for it to offer me. But if I'm in Southern California, then I'd rather just go to Disneyland. Like, for the price of a day at Universal, I'd rather just add another day onto
Here you go.
onto Disneyland.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I would feel the same way with, but more to Udi's point, the fact that we're even having this conversation, because in the past there was never a conversation of how does this affect Disneyland? Nothing could touch Disney.
Right.
True. That's so true.
Yeah, but in your opinion, you can see that, right? Can you see that if Disneyland, as in general, because you can't tell me that this is gonna be their only move. I mean, I would not be surprised if they begin to do things in the Central California or maybe Arizona, Phoenix, somewhere to try to take the West Coast as well.
Right.
They already have Universal out here, but you can't really expand because of where that is. Like you can't. I don't think you. I'm not super familiar, but I don't think there's much you can do big over there anymore.
Well, and I think what's unique about the Universal here is that it is built around the
Studio.
Exactly, around the studio lot. So you have that. But then when you go to the park there, you didn't go there, Mark? Or did you go to Universal?
In Florida?
Yeah, in Florida.
Well, we had tickets for 2 days there, but I ran the girls ragged, and we did not
And
get.
you didn't go.
No, we didn't go. It doesn't matter. We ended up getting our money back for that. But
Well-
we did go to City Walk and have lunch. And next time, we just sorry. Go ahead, Becky.
Oh no, I was just gonna say it is a lot. That's the hard part about going down there from here on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Is we know we're not going there annually, so there's so much you want to fit in. And
Yep.
with 4 parks at Disney, 3 parks at Universal, you can't do that all in a trip.
No, you
You
can't.
can't. You have to pick and choose.
Yeah.
But it is a wonderful park. It surpassed any expectation I had. It's cool.
Yeah.
I guess that's all I can say. It is
Yeah.
cool.
Mhm.
And I do think that it would give Disney something to feel, they should feel on their toes or like their feet are against the fire.
Mm-hmm.
I do
Yeah.
feel that.
Yeah.
But for me personally, it would never surpass Disney.
No, I'm not sure that it is gonna do that. My thoughts are, like, I'm not a huge fan of the IP, like the Dark Universe. I don't care about monsters. I know for some people that is it, and they love it. And for me,
yeah.
I don't really care about werewolf or Wolfman. I'm sorry, I don't even know the guy's names. Dracula. I'm sorry. Clearly, I don't know about that stuff. But and I don't care about Nintendo or Flight of the Dragon or How to Train Your Dragon stuff. None of that stuff even resonates with me.
Oh, I forgot the How to Train Your Dragon.
But I have
was
seen the stuff through Celestial Park, and the way it opens up to that hotel with these pools and bodies of water. I'm absolutely blown away by all that, and that's so cool to me. And the theming in Dark Universe, even though I don't like it, the IP, it's completely next world for me. And what I've seen with the Harry Potter, it makes you look like you're there. I can't get my mind around it. But the one thing that it did expose, and also what they're going to do, I think I heard this last week, was that for the first year, they are going to limit this park's capacity every day, so that guests that go there will have a chance to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was clever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
But the one glaring hole that I see in all this is that it has exposed Disney for being somewhat throttled with what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, put the clutch in,
Mm-hmm.
put it in 6th gear, and let's get going.
Mhm.
Because Universal they seem to be doing whatever they want to do.
Yep. Because they're not worried. Well, again, they're in the convenient position of being number 2
Yeah.
and gunning for number 1. So they like I said, they have a very clear. It is clear to me
Yeah.
their sole goal is to knock Disney off the top of the mountain. And when when you're motivated by that at that level,
Yeah.
you're gonna do it. And they honestly, they're what I give them credit for is they clearly have a vision. Okay, that's what it is. They have their vision and they are working towards it. Disney doesn't have that anymore. That is where we've lost.
Yep. No.
Where Disney has lost it. They don't have a vision. They're just kind of meandering around them like whatever, and that always goes back to leadership. You know where how I felt
Yeah.
on that. So
Well, can I say, I think that some of the vision they're putting into, like, Paris right now, I think that here in the United States could compete.
well, okay,
Like a droid show.
okay.
Or a drone show.
And
Okay.
that whole like Lion King log flume.
Okay.
Yes.
Why isn't that an Animal Kingdom?
Okay, so here we go.
Okay,
Here we
right.
go.
go.
Okay, here we go. No,
100%.
so here's my whole point with this: Disney, and this
Okay.
is Iger, 100 million, 20 billion%.
We're not going to go about Iger
No.
right now.
But
Okay.
what I'm saying is the focus has not been the domestic parks. We know
No.
this, and we've been yelling at it forever. They, for whatever reason, has been overseas. He's been trying to grow Disneyland into this and Disney into this massive international conglomerate, which he's done. They've done a pretty good job of doing. But
Yeah.
the thing is, they have hyper focused on anything but our domestic parks. They throw a little bit at it, and then the people, the pixie dusters just lap it up like it's milk. Like it's something, the best thing ever. And I'm like, no. You guys are so limited on your focus. Like, this is not what it is. So I feel like I need to remind everybody, anything of the China parks, anything over there, That's least. That could be gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
That could be gone tomorrow, and all the millions and billions that they've invested could be just evaporated. For what? For what? So this is what I'm saying. Universal is 100% going to push them, and they need to focus back in.
Yeah.
We've got what's going on with Disney Ford?
I was going to
Anybody?
bring Disney Ford up. Yeah, that's been at least 4 years. 'Cause
And
I
they
went-
have approvals. They have things. Have they even given a roadmap, an idea, a concept of this is what we're going to do? All they've got.
Well, no,
is
they have. They've got concept art.
No. What I mean is like this is what the land is going. This is what we're going to do with Disney Ford.
Oh yeah, no, I've not heard anything.
They blue skied their way into a hole. Is what they've done.
Yeah.
And so now they need to come out, and I'm telling you this right now. In order to
Okay.
compete with this, they need to go. They need to. We're not going to have a show. Blah blah blah. I mean, you need to do all that.
Yeah.
But you need to literally go to Disney Ford. It's like now, we're going to now give you. Our response would be Disney Ford, and in Disney Ford, we're going to do X, Y, Z. When Universal came out with that, they said, "This is what we're going to do. We're going to have these lands, boom, boom, boom," and they gave you the plan. They said, "This is what we're doing."
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did. Yeah.
Disney hasn't even done with Disney Ford. Everybody, we sit here hypothesize
Yeah.
over and over and over and over and over again, and we could all be wrong, which we all probably are wrong, but it's because Disney hasn't done anything with it.
And Universal announced a UK park too, like 2 days after. They
Yeah,
See what I mean? They're
Oh.
focused. They're focused.
And
they're focused.
I heard this too, is that even at Epic Universe, they've got 2 plots of land that are right adjacent to the. Did you see this, Becky?
I didn't see that.
Okay,
No.
and so they're not telling you what this is, but they're already moving Earth to get things done.
See?
What I'm hearing is one is going to be Link for Zelda,
Zelda,
and the other one's going to be Wicked.
Oh
See,
my god.
yeah, that's what I've heard. So if they're pulling this off, but don't worry, we have a new Indiana Jones stunt show coming. Okay, great. That sounds great. That's
You
awesome.
see
So
how
if it, I do have to admit, if there is like Wicked or
Yes.
Gold City or something
Yes.
related to that,
That is what the rumor
I
is.
would plan
Becky
a
was just
vacation.
converted.
I know,
I
right?
will plan a
You-
vacation and I will not go
Oh.
to Disneyland. I'm gonna say it now.
What?
I'll go to like Animal Kingdom and that's it. Or
No,
Epcot.
Epcot. Do Epcot.
Yeah, I'll do like
Oh
that.
my
And
gosh.
then the rest of my time's at Universal. And I'll be there, I'll sing, I'll dance.
So
I'll have my wand to go into Harry Potter
yes,
like area.
that is what I'm hearing. It's going to be Wicked again. This does not move the needle, as I usually say for me.
Yeah. for
But
you,
Zelda doesn't move the needle either for me. But I love that they're doing this, and I like what Udi said. Yeah, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what it's going to be. It's going to be 3 or 4 years. Let's go. They could easily do this in Anaheim right now.
Right.
Hey, we're going to make a Westcott. Oh my gosh, if Westcott came out here, that would be a game-changing thing for sure.
Yeah.
And this is the point where I keep on pointing back to the problem with the company is that because it is a limited focus, they have focused on the wrong things for too long. And when you do that, you fall. And this is where we are.
Yes.
There is no reason why we have not gotten any definitive plan for Disney Ford that I can think of. Other than they have no freaking clue on what they're going to do. And now that they spent so much time, why would you go through all of that to fight to get that rezoned and all the battle for years now?
Well, yeah.
And then you come, how are those not set in stone? Like as soon as we get approval, boom, we're moving. And this is what we're going to do. How are you not building up the hype now with what they're going to do with that area?
Yeah.
Nothing. Freaking crickets.
Well, I'm hoping this year in August when D23 comes. This year.
I agree with you, but for the love of everything that's holy, why would the day that was announced that we have that, were they not prepared with now that we got this is what we're bringing? Because they're not.
They're not.
And it is clear as day right now that they are not prepared. They have no clue. They blue skied themselves. That's what I'm saying. They blew them sky. Maybe they blue skied themselves into a corner, not into a hole.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm going to go off on this because
We're not going to go off anymore.
Because it's frustrating when you see something.
It is frustrating, but it should be. I mean, ultimately, I think we're going to win. I mean, this is going to be like a good thing because Disney is forced to do to play their hand. But the other actual thing that kind of sucks about this is all this design work that we see in Epic Universe and this UK park and stuff. These are all former Imagineers who were laid off.
Yeah.
And it's like, Disney, you knuckleheads, you guys should have used these guys when you had them unthrottle yourself and build. That's what you
And
have. What?
Not to mention, like, another part of that too is when you do touch on that, like the Imagineers laid off.
Yeah.
You also have like the Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. I remember going on that and feeling like I've never seen anything like that because it combined stuff in front of you, but
Yeah.
it also combined the screens and you felt like you're flying. Well, now Disney's next upgrade is bringing basically that same ride
Yes.
here.
Yeah,
So
Adventures
that
Campus.
even though it could be amazing because it's retheming, it does take away some of that. I've never seen anything like this before. Well, we have.
We
You know what
have.
I mean? So
Yeah.
so they're not doing anything more innovative.
They're reactionary rather,
Yes.
Universal
rather than
is,
innovative.
but they're
Yep.
like
Yep.
following Universal rather than
Disney being
Universal
reactive.
following.
Yeah.
This could be a whole segment. This
yeah,
could be a whole
this
show.
could be, there is a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't complain, Becky. You're gonna get paint the night this summer, so you just.
I know.
Okay.
I know. I am excited.
Yeah.
I mean, there's stuff. To me, Disney is always going to be better, but that's also because I've built so many life memories
Mhm.
around it.
Yep, and
You know,
that's
there's
what they're
so-
banking on.
Thank you.
Right. There's so much to it
Yep.
that's a big aspect for me, and sometimes it is hard for me to see maybe the more clear picture because that's just my own opinion, and I'm clouded
Well,
by that.
Well, I'm going to tell you this right now. You want to know who Universal is going to be getting? Your daughters. That's what they're going to get.
Yeah.
And they're going to lose you and us.
Yeah.
And then we're not going to be able to pass it on because the product is not going to be as good. This is where Disney is failing. As for as much as they want to say, well, the future, a lot of the IPs like, well, we're catching the modern audience. God, I hate that term. But anyway, and they failed at that. And so they haven't
Yeah.
figured this out yet. It's funny how we're just on the outside going, well, this is where you screwed up, Disney, right there, right there, right there, right there. And how are we
Yeah.
not being like, listen to us, we're telling you what you're screwing up.
I so get what you mean because even the whole time we're talking about this,
We got to stop.
in
We
my
got to actually
mind-
stop
I
talking
know,
about it
we
because
have
we're
to
going to keep
stop.
on going.
But in my mind, I'm picturing my girls 10 years old, like 9 and 10. We've just started reading the Harry Potter books.
Yep.
And we're
And then
going
where
to
are they
Florida
going?
with
Mhm.
their robes
Yep.
on.
Yep.
And that is an amazing experience.
Yep.
I mean, for anybody that I didn't grow up being a Harry Potter fan, I was just a little bit too. I'm young, but I was a little bit too old for that. And but I learned it after. And to think to grow up and actually in real time read a book and be able to go and see all of everything you've pictured in your mind, that's
Mhm.
just phenomenal. So I do get what you mean.
Yep.
That I could see it taking our youth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, this is not the epic show, but we can talk about this at a future date.
Yeah.
I feel like
We've
I need
Uh-huh.
a cigarette after that.
Yes.
I need to go cry. Now my children are gonna
No,
lose
they're
my,
not.
Disney fantasies.
No. It's just, I think the gist of it is competition is healthy.
Yeah.
And
It
Disney
is.
is getting kind of caught off guard with this. And I think that's where the frustration is because it's like, why are we even having this conversation? But I do expect Disney to respond with something soon. And not a stunt show or parade or flavored churro or anything like that, which is what they might
do.
do.
If it was the drone show, maybe. Maybe the drone show.
Maybe
That
the drone
was
sh-
pretty-
I'm going to say this right
Maybe
now,
I'll just
and then I'll be done. Any other response to this from Disney other than this is Disney Forward and this is what we're doing and this is our
Yeah.
plan, anything short of that is lame, pathetic.
What if they say we're bringing back People Mover?
All pathetic.
What?
All pathetic.
That-
Nope.
what?
Nope. All pathetic. No. Pathetic reaction to a company that's ready to take their lunch.
What if they bring back the 2 enchilada
Nope.
plate?
Nothing.
2 enchilada plate.
Nothing. That's what that's how serious I'm telling you.
That now is serious.
Yeah,
if
there you
if
go.
we
If
mess
they
around with the enchilada plate.
Yeah, they bring
okay.
it back, and I'd be like, pathetic.
I'm
I'm
gonna
going to go
laugh and,
eat it,
like-
but pathetic.
I know. I'm gonna laugh if like tomorrow there's a big announcement and it's like they're bringing back the 2 enchilada plate.
Hey, I'm going to let you all in a little secret. This is why I haven't gotten an AP yet, because they took it away
Oh,
from me.
yeah,
No, I'm
yeah.
totally kidding. I'm totally kidding.
All right. Well, with all that cheery conversation, Marcus is like, dude, this is supposed to be fun. This is supposed to be fun. Are you having a good time, Marcus?
I'm having a blast.
We might have a special guest on. Let's see if we can do this real quick. Impromptu. Oh, hit ring.
Mm-hmm.
Not good at this.
You didn't talk. You didn't. Oh, there you go.
Hello.
Oh.
Oh.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What is this?
I know, right? Weird.
Hi, Jess.
Hey, sweet girl, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Look at
You
that.
know.
And Marcus in the house?
Hi, Marcus.
Hello. Great to see you.
Great to see you guys.
Yeah,
I
you just huh?
No, go ahead.
You just missed a spirited conversation about Epic Universe.
Oh my God.
It was
I'm
the opening
glad.
question, and it's supposed to be fun, but
Epic?
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
very
damn.
brief.
about
It was only about an hour long. It was supposed to be the
So
opening
Disney's
question.
gonna go bankrupt if they don't catch up to them?
No, it didn't go that far.
no, it's just a little
See,
bit. I
don't-
mean,
don't get Jess going. It'll be
overall,
another
you
thing.
know, I think the gist of it is competition's healthy, and this is great that Universal's doing it, but Disneyland needs to respond, and we shouldn't even be having this conversation. We should be like innovating, and
I agree. Yeah, it's incredible the way that even their monsters that are like doing character greetings.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And I mean, I can vouch, like when we did the opening of Galaxy's Edge, like, I mean, everyone was so in character and it was incredible. And, you know, having them rush us through the queue, you know, for Rise and all that, like, it was amazing. And that could be exactly what they're doing. You know, this could very well fade off. But I don't know. Disney needs to step it up.
Mm-hmm.
They do, unfortunately.
yeah, they do.
So, well, it's good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
We're gonna just
I'm
point
bored
you
out
at
of
Marcus.
my mind.
Yeah,
I'm
just put-
I'm
Focus on Marcus.
Yeah.
Hi, Marcus. Yeah. I'm sunburned. I'm like, my face is bright red. But, you know, we're hanging in there.
Okay, good,
So,
good. How much time do you have with us today, Jess?
as much as you want, Mark.
Okay, well,
Yay.
since we are using my iPad for this stuff, Udi's got the news up.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's go on to our news.
You listen to me now. You are talking about things that you do not understand.
You
What's wrong?
I just read the first one.
This is the first time you've read the news?
Yeah, I popped it up. I know. I saw the link and I'm like, and I was going to read it last
That's
night.
like 2
to
days
prep.
ago.
I know. I was going to read it last night to prep, and you know me with prep. I'm horrible
Okay.
at it.
All right. So just give us the highlights.
Okay, Disney pauses all Magic Key sales again.
Marcus was the last person to buy one.
Oh man, just in time.
It's your fault,
Congrats,
Marcus.
Marcus.
I don't even want to read it because it's all crap.
Okay.
It's all crap. This is all garbage.
And this is why Udi doesn't read the news.
no.
Okay.
I literally popped up.
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, apparently, Udi can't give the first two words.
Because
Come on, Rudy.
how many times have I said that all of this AP pausing and blah blah is all crap? It's all garbage. It's all
yes,
false
we understand
narrative.
that. Okay, let's get going though.
Okay, Disneyland has halted sales of the Enchanted Key after previously pausing sales of Inspire, Believe, and Imagine Keys, making all 4 tiers of the Magic Key program officially sold out and only available for renewal. Bullshit.
Udi, I gotta edit that.
I know
out.
you do, and I did that on purpose. Disneyland starts and stops Magic Key sales several times a year as a way to manage the annual pass program.
Yeah.
Lazy. Typically giving a few days notice before the sale starts and halt sales. Blah blah blah. Okay.
Yeah, you can give us the highlights or the lowlights, I suppose.
Yeah. Who cares? Talking about when they did and how much they are. We all know they're overpriced and underselling. Anyway, so there we go. Thoughts. I already gave my thoughts. I will rant on it, so I'm just gonna stop. It's all
Well-
crap. It's all baloney. This is what Disney needs to not doing, and they were going in the right direction, and then they pull this crap, and it just pisses me off because they need to stop. They need to stop. This is stupid.
They need to stop the sales.
No, they need to stop doing this.
Oh.
Sold out, blah 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 blah. No, it doesn't work, Disney. It
Okay,
doesn't
okay,
work. It doesn't
okay.
work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Okay.
Well, I guess. What is your thought? Okay, someone else have a thought about that, Mr. Cheery over here.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I mean, I don't like to see it stop. But I'm so used to it now
Yep.
that, it doesn't faze me.
Okay.
I do have a thought, though,
Oh.
and maybe another thought, kind of like a side thought to this, and maybe everybody knew this except for me. But whenever I just went and Magic Keys were still on sale, when I would go onto the app and see my pass for the day, it would say I could upgrade to a Magic Key.
Yes.
Which, awesome, cool, loved that. However, it had in like little print not to upgrade until after your trip, or you could lose your daily reservation. And whenever I checked, the Magic Key reservations were sold out for that time.
Yeah.
And I can't believe I didn't bring this up sooner, but I didn't like that at all.
No.
Like, that really rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
And also, Tim was like, well, if we upgrade to, get a Magic Key, I don't want to be told when we're trying to plan a trip, like, hey, we can't go, aside from the blackout dates that we know upon getting the pass.
Yeah.
But I would have thought that if I chose to upgrade, and I chose to upgrade at day one of my trip, I could keep my same reservation and just have the benefits, like, the 10% or whatever off food, merchandise.
And that's how it used to be.
Well, and you know why they didn't, right? They're trying to milk every last dime out of you. So ridiculous.
If you were to do it the day you were there, and they said actually today's like you can't go in today, they would like escort you out of the park.
I don't think it would be that.
No,
way.
I'm joking about that.
No, I know. If there's video footage to sort it out.
I just upgraded
your
your pass.
pass just expired. But I mean,
That would root you on.
If I did it and the next day I couldn't go back in.
But that's the complete garbage. Like, I've had this plan for so long. You you guys you've all been to Universal, right? Everybody?
Yeah.
We're not, we still talking about Epic Universe? Okay.
No. Hear me out, Mark. Hear me out.
Okay.
California. No, because when I was there last time, at the end of the day, like, we're talking 45 minutes to park closing.
Yeah.
They are pushing everyone. 40% off if you upgrade your ticket to a season pass. Come sign up. Come do this. Like, and they were pushing like hard. I'm talking Main Street at opening, and everybody's waving with their Mickey Mouse hands. I'm talking that is the row of people like exiting Universal trying to get you to change your ticket to a season pass. And do I think that that's right? No, I personally wouldn't want Disney to do that. But they're trying a lot harder than Disney is.
Yeah. No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it comes from the point, again, where Universal goes, we have a focus, we want your money. And Disney's trying to say, like, maybe we'll take your money. But the people that we do want to take your money from, we want to take all of your money, which oh my gosh, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Which is why I sneak into the concierge lounge every time I go.
Hey, there you go.
I'm getting my money back.
Yeah.
Hey, listeners, stick around. The fun part's coming.
I know. Well, Mark, what do you think about it?
Yeah.
Marcus, I mean, you guys are both, Magic Key holders. What are your guys' thoughts on it?
Well, you just spoiled the thing about Marcus's trip. We're going to get to that, but that's okay.
Thanks for giving away my good news.
I'm so sorry. Edit this out.
No, I think that all the passes should be available at all times.
Yeah.
I hate the forced what's the word I'm looking for?
Oh, wait, hold on. It just slipped my mind, too.
Yeah.
Scarcity.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I knew Udi would have it.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, I hate the forced scarcity or manufactured scarcity. I think it's stupid.
It's a Chapek holdover, which needs to go away. That was one of the things I hated about Chapek. Like, stop it. Yeah, I mean, it worked. It worked for DVDs and Blu-rays. I get that, but and VHS, but no, not.
I hated it then too.
Yeah, well, I know, but it made
from the vault.
I know exactly. It made it. It hyped it, which you give him for being a hype man when it comes to physical products. But this is a park, and this is a different thing.
The Magic Keys are back in the vault, Udi.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Can we get the original back?
Yeah, well, I wish we could.
There
Well,
we go.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't know if I believe this next one, dude. To be honest, Disney opens Club 33 waiting list.
No, bullshit.
Yeah, guys, I gotta edit this.
Sorry, Mark.
Wasn't this an April Fool's
No,
Day
it's not.
thing?
Well, I don't know if it's not an April Fool's because I went on the Disneyland app and you can put in a link to put your information in.
Okay, so let me read the story then. The secret dining spot, but I don't like the way they put that already. Above New Orleans Square is secret no longer. Disneyland added Club 33 to the theme park app and website. Once Secret Club 33 that Disneyland bills as private, exclusive, mysterious, magical, legendary, and world class is a secret no longer. And the Anaheim theme park is actively looking for new members who want to join. Anybody want to venture a guess why? Disneyland has broken the Fight Club-like cardinal rule of Club 33, never talk about Club 33, by posting details at the secret restaurant and bar for the first time ever on the theme park's website and mobile app.
So, can you make reservations for that if you're a
Club
non-member?
33 waiting list is in the hundreds and can take more than a decade to receive an invitation. Club 33 may contact you as membership opportunities become available. According to Disneyland website, offers of membership are made at Club 33's sole discretion, according to the official Club 33 website. A section where Club
Oh, look
33...
at her go.
Yeah, it's. Well, I'm just putting it in.
Okay,
Yep.
a section of
What does it
where
say?
Club 33 members could make dining reservations is quickly removed from the Disneyland website and app, likely because too many non-members were trying to book a table for dinner. Duh. Club 33 was inspired by VIP. Okay, we all know about Club 33, but so you know what you know what I see right away.
Udi, you were just on a roll today.
Because it's not my fault, man. It's not my fault.
Okay.
They're hurting.
They're hurting.
They're hurting. People are like, nah, I don't want to pay the 20 grand again. You're not giving me what I need. I'm out. I'm gonna go do something else.
So what are they saying? You're saying so anyone can make a reservation now?
No, you can't. No.
It's just like put in basically an inquiry that someday, like you could do a membership interest form, and then let me see. It just says like you put your name, number,
Yeah, no.
information. So
And
they
that's, yeah.
probably
Go
send
ahead.
you information on it,
Mhm.
and I don't know, maybe they contact you at a certain point.
Yeah. And that's why I said BS, because it's not a wait list.
No.
You're not on a wait list to get into, Olga's Cantina.
Yeah.
You're just inquiring about a membership,
Mhm.
and they're just using different wording to get people excited because they need the money
Mm-hmm.
to do it.
It's just
It's
that.
like,
Personally,
okay,
And
It's
okay.
then
just that the,
you're gonna. Oh, sorry. No, go, Marcus.
well, it's just that the app is now acknowledging it, and a bunch of uninformed people took that to mean
Yes.
more than it
Yep.
means.
Yep.
It's not a secretive spot.
No, I hated
Yeah.
that entire article.
It's
Whoever
kind
wrote
of
it.
like
Yeah.
how I take it is like if I did an inquiry to be part of Disney Vacation Club.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Kind
Yeah.
of what it is.
That's Disney's best kept secret, Becky.
Yeah.
A DVC. Yeah. No, I agree with Jess 100%.
Who
If-
knows? Maybe they're gonna offer payment plans
To what?
to join.
No.
I don't know.
No.
Club 33.
No.
I will tell you this: if they do that, I don't know
I don't
how
think they
I don't
will.
know how much more you need to know that they're hurting for money and they're trying to get it any way they can.
Okay.
Anyway,
Man, the one show when I don't show up with beer.
I know.
Really,
I have-
really
do you
need
want a
drink
beer?
right now?
I've
want
got
a
a
beer?
beer.
No, I'm okay.
I'm about to go get one.
I'm ready for a drink.
I've got some NA in there for Udi.
NA.
Non-alcoholic.
Oh, what is that?
I got it
Do
just
you
for
guys,
That's barley
do you
water.
guys want me to do an interest form to see what happens?
Are you interested?
Sure, Becky,
No.
go ahead.
I'll
Do
be-
it.
You
I'll
got
be
the 30
so
grand?
annoyed if people
You got the
actually-
30 grand?
You you
Don't
be
put
the
your credit card on there.
Yeah.
If I tell Tim, like, okay, honey, I know you said the magic keys aren't going to work. They don't make sense. However,
Yeah.
I just invested 30 grand to be part of Club 33.
I know you were talking about a Tesla. I get that, but no, I want to do this instead.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll go over great.
Okay.
Okay, next story. Everybody, we're good. We can beat that one around for a
Something
while.
positive.
Okay.
Jeez.
I'm just
This-
don't
I
get
love
don't
this
get mad
next
at me.
story.
I'm just
Shoot
reading
the
here.
messenger.
Yes, I
I'm
love
just
this.
reading.
Okay, Becky.
Me too.
What'd you say, Becky?
I love this next story.
There we go.
Okay, then you read it. Go for
Some
it.
Becky, yes, because I found enough of Udi right now. He's kind of pissing me off. So Becky's going to read some good news, and it's very apt that Udi leaves the room for this because
I'm
we can
here
have.
to bring you.
Does it have to do with Small World? With Small World?
No, it doesn't. It's just
Oh.
okay, Becky.
Disneyland's 70th guided tour, a story of celebration. 70th anniversary guided tour is a 2-hour walking tour exploring the rich heritage of the Disneyland park, from opening day attractions to the latest innovations. The tour will take guests to iconic locations as they learn about Walt Disney's vision of Disneyland and how it's continued to grow and evolve since opening in 1955. Bookings will open on Disneyland.com on April 24th, 2025. This is an add-on experience. Park entry is a separate purchase. The Disneyland Resort 70th celebration is from May 16th, 2025 through the summer of 2026. The celebration will also include the debut of the new World of Color Happiness at Disneyland California Adventure, the new key to Disneyland experiences, the return of Paint the Night Electrical Parade, and more.
Yes.
Oh, Paint the Night. I can't freaking wait.
Thank you, Jess. I feel like the guys
feel
were making fun
validated?
of me earlier.
Oh, no. I mean, I am so excited.
Hold on a second.
I think this is such a great addition, though, adding the guided tour like this. I am curious what the cost is, but I think that I'm so glad they're doing that.
Yeah, I actually looked the day when I found the article that I wanted to see if you could book it yet, and you can't. But this is something that I actually would tack on to my experience at Disneyland is a 2-hour tour. Because I've never done it, of course, but I would love to learn stuff that about the park that you think you know everything, but you don't, sort of stuff. And yeah, I'd be stoked about that.
Mm-hmm.
Would you guys consider doing this tour?
No.
Yeah.
Doing it?
Let's say it's $150 or so. No.
No.
Okay.
No, it's hard for me because I've seen a lot of the behind the scenes.
Yeah,
I've
you
gotten a
work
lot
there.
of the-
Different for you.
So for me, it's a little bit different. So no,
Okay.
I mean,
I would.
And you worked in that area. That's
Exactly.
featured heavily. So I do
Exactly.
totally see that.
Yeah.
like I wouldn't give him my money. I will give you guys a tour for free.
I would take you up on it.
I'm like, I'll give
Yeah.
you a tour for free.
Sure.
But
Well-
no, it sounds like it's going to be great, and I don't know. Maybe I would.
This is something
Maybe-
that
maybe I would.
if we're going for 3 or 4 days, I would tack this on towards the end of my trip.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I would
Yeah.
feel, I think I would just really enjoy it. I would ask a lot of questions. And just actually, maybe I wouldn't ask a lot of questions. Maybe I'd do a lot of listening. That's what I'm working on more these days, is more active listening for me and less.
Listening.
Yeah.
No, Mark, you always get warned about that. Hey, you know that one guy who's going to ask a lot of questions and they raise their hand? He's like, it's going to be that guy.
It is going to be
It's
me.
Mark.
Yeah, because I've already got
It's
things.
Mark.
Yeah. But
At least you ask good questions.
You do though. Yeah.
I try to.
You are the best interviewer I've met.
Are you
Yeah.
are you being serious?
No, not at all.
No,
you
you're
seriously
not
are.
being serious.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I am being serious. Sorry.
No.
I thought you meant sarcastic.
I always got. I feel like I got to remind people. You
Oh,
went
yeah.
to school for that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, thank
also,
you.
too, the way
Yeah.
that you
Yeah.
ask questions, it actually is in a way that it feels like you care about our
Oh,
answers.
but I don't.
But he
If
doesn't.
that makes sense. I feel like when
If
you
you
ask me a
guys
question,
could
it
see
feels like
his
you
face.
care about my life.
Yeah,
Or,
no.
like when you're interviewing people,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
you care about what
Oh.
they have to say or about them.
Right.
Thank
He's
you.
actually
No.
listening. He's not just thinking of what he's going to ask next.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you seem like an active listener.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying. Thank you. Yeah, that's one of the things I got to work on.
You know, I wanted to throw a joke out there, but I feel like not the right time. No, he is. It's genuine. Like, he genuinely is, like, listening and caring about what you're going to say.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when it comes to me, he's just looking for how he can get me, but that's fine. That's okay.
Yeah.
This turned into a Mark appreciation
Mm-hmm.
episode.
Dude, that should be every show. That should be
Yes.
every
Yeah,
show.
we do.
Yeah.
That should be every show.
Yeah, there's a new segment starting in episode 220. It's the Mark Appreciation half an hour.
No. It's how do we love Mark
An hour.
today? How do we love Mark today?
Yeah, I'm sure. We will lose listeners so fast.
I know. I'd stop listening.
All right. Next news item here, Fruity.
Okay. Star Wars night begins this week, which would be.
Yep, last week.
Yeah, last week.
Mhm.
The next round of Disneyland After Dark events kick off this week and return to Star Wars Night. There are 2 events this week, Tuesday and Thursday, and Disneyland will close to the public. We all know that around 8, like they normally do. Crossover usually starts around 4, right? I believe.
Oh, the mix-in?
Yeah, the mix-in's around 4. Of the exclusive merch to be sold at Disneyland After Dark Star Wars Night events, which begin this week. In addition to the special entertainment offerings, one of the perks of attending Disneyland After Dark event is the opportunity to purchase event exclusive. Blah, blah, blah. Honestly, though, that's pretty much the gist of the story. A lot of the merch that I've seen is actually pretty cool. Not that I'd buy it because I'm not a merch guy, but a lot of it has been pretty cool. Like, hey, that's not bad.
Did you guys see too the Yoda beignets?
Yep.
Those,
Yep.
those looked good.
Those look really good.
And they're super cute.
Yeah. No, they're it made me kind of want to go. To be honest, they're still sticking with their Rey and the sequel trilogy. I get that for now, but I'm really looking forward to the day that gets replaced with Luke. And I mean, we're getting Luke, and they don't really bring that up in the article, but we have that Luke Skywalker. We have that kind of thing going on, even though I don't think the guy who is playing Luke Skywalker looks like Luke Skywalker. But hey, we won't. We're not going to go there. The fact is that the character is still there. It is the Return of the Jedi post Return of the Jedi version of Luke, which is even more epic for me. So I'm glad this is back. And the merch is actually looks kind of cool. Like I said, a lot of it.
Yeah, there's a picture. Philander was there the other night.
Yeah, his stuff was great. I mean,
Did you see that black shirt there? Did you see the backside of that black one?
I know. I gotta look. For it.
I was tempted to ask him, dude, can you pick me up that shirt? Because I've never seen anything like it before.
Let me see if I can find it.
It's got Vader in the back in like this abstract.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Let me.
I gotta find it. And it's like, I'm all, dude. Oh, here it is. Oh, here's a picture of it, real quick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mark, can you show the camera? I was like, I want to see.
Hold on.
I can't.
No, other way. There you go.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
Yeah, it's got Vader in this cool, and that's the backside of that black shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And because he showed a picture of that of that Vader. I go, dude, is that the back? He said, yeah. And I go, okay, well, what does the front look like? And he told me that's what it was. And I'm like, oh, dude, I think I might want to get that. So anyways, I do like it. So you were saying this makes you kind of want to go to it?
Yeah, I mean, I've always kind of offhandedly been like, I wouldn't mind going to one of them. I'm glad they're doing this because it looks like they're beginning to go back. Like I've been saying for a while now, the more they return to the original trilogy, the more people are going to come into it. They have been kind of banking on the newer part of the IP and trying to pull in like the younger demo. And I get that, but they when it comes to Disney or Star Wars, they always forget that even the younger demo is still mostly going to migrate back to the OT. I think it's been proven over and over again. Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Chewbacca, R2, C-3PO, original trilogy, Darth Vader. They're going to be infinitely more popular than anything else.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
So that was the last bit of the news?
Yep.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
Strangely enough, before we get into the segment, we got a couple segments we got to go through, but the randomizer has shown up.
Oh man.
We didn't even ask it to. It's been a couple episodes. So, Marcus, what is the randomizer?
So the randomizer, as the name implies, randomly shows up, and it has just now, and it will spit out 3 random attractions from Disneyland or DCA, and we go around the table, and each one of us picks. You have to pick one attraction to marry. She's perfect as is, for better or for worse. One you're gonna have to knock off, and it's just gonna disappear Soviet Russia style. No more. The third is she's a beauty, and if you walk by, and there's not a line, maybe you'll jump on and share a few moments of sweet, unbridled passion. But she's not quite marriage material, so we need to make some adjustments to get her up to par.
Elegantly put, Marcus. You get a fist bump for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Mark.
Hold on.
Yeah, Jess
Jess.
is high-fiving from
Oh, is that a high five?
No, that's a question.
Oh,
Or
yes,
more
Jess.
of a statement.
Yeah.
That needs to be the intro for the randomizer every time. Like, you need to say that clip.
Okay, well,
That now forevermore.
okay.
Well, thank you.
Yes, maybe
That was so good.
I will keep that. And it's so apt that today's top 3 attractions are Haunted Mansion, Storybook Land Canal Boats, and Radiator Spring Racers. So both parks are represented, and I love it when the randomizer does that. And then we have the caveat of Storybook showing up just for Jess, because this is going to be.
Why did that happen?
Because he knew it.
Okay,
it's
but
diabolical.
Marcus, since you are the guest today, although I don't really consider you a guest, to be honest with you, and I mean that in the kindest way. Do you want
I'm
us
a
to?
relative.
Yes, you are. Yes, LTP adjacent.
You're not quite marriage material. Is that what
Yeah,
we're-
you're not quite. Not quite.
Like an in-law.
Yeah. Do you want me to re-randomize this list? Are you okay with this?
I am extremely uncomfortable
change it.
with Jess in the room, but
No, don't change it.
I will face her wrath, I guess.
Okay. Haunted Mansion, Storyland Canal Boats. Sorry, Storybook Land. You know what, Jess? Does it bother you when someone calls it the wrong name?
Yes.
Yes.
So those
But it's like- it's like
storybook
that's-
boat things.
Yeah, the thingamabobs. No, that's probably the one that the only one that bothers me, because we call Haunted Mansion, or
Oh, I don't.
Tower Terror,
I do.
Tower, or we break them down, but it's Storybook Canal Boats. And you call it book or whatever, but the boat thingy with where you go in the whale with the mouth, no,
Yeah.
get it right,
Okay.
people.
Haunted Mansion, Storybook Land Canal Boats, and Radiator Springs Racers.
I had to write them down because
Yes.
This one.
This is a really
This is a
tough
hard
one.
one. I think I got it, but it's tough.
Marcus, do you want to go first? Or do you want to defer?
I will go first.
Yes.
I know I've got my list. I'm sorry, Jess. I love you.
It's okay.
But just because of the options I'm given, I'm gonna have to.
You have to face her now.
You must face-
Oh, they turned the screen toward me. Oh.
Let me get my tissues ready.
Yes, the canal boats are beautiful. They're perfect in every way, but R.I.P.
Yep.
So I'm going to keep Radiator Springs as is. I can't
Okay.
imagine it being much better than it is. And I'm going to take Mansion, which I also love, but I'm going to make some adjustments and make it a little more comfortable for myself. So the seance room is going to go.
Okay.
As a religious person,
Right.
it's the only part that makes me feel uncomfortable.
Fair.
Other than that, I don't know a whole lot of changes that could be made to it.
What would you put in there instead of the seance room?
The murder room?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would make you more comfortable. A big bloodbath.
Like, hey, what are those chains hanging from the ceiling? Well, that's where we hang the bodies from. Okay.
Yeah.
That's better. Okay.
Yeah. The one thing I think I would like to see is maybe make the story a little more clear because I know when they were putting the ride together, it was a bit convoluted and there was some confusion and disagreement as to what they were going to do with it, whether to make it scary or funny, and they kind of. And I know there is an actual storyline going on in there, but it's not super clear as to what it is. So, I would like to see a little more clarification on that.
Okay.
Other than that, I can't really have a lot of recommendations.
Okay, gotcha. All right, who wants to go next? And solid answers, I might say. Oh, Jess, you have a question, or you want to go next?
No, I'll go next.
Oh,
Okay, go for it. I'm curious now.
There's not much to be curious about. You know what I'm keeping.
I know.
I would keep Book as is solely because Walt had something to do with it.
Yep.
We can easily do something else like Cars later down the road, so that's gone. Out the door, trash. Sorry, I love that ride. But
No,
it's
I
gone.
know.
I love it, but it's gone.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Mansion, there would be a lot of work that we would have to do to it. Mansion, I would, because I'm such a fond person of Tower. And yes, we have Guardians, but it does not give me the same vibe.
I get where you're going, I think. All right, go.
You give me Mansion, where we walk in and we sit down more in a car that is like what Tower used to be, or Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
And we, instead of the stretching room, we drop
Oh.
as if we are the man that, has unalived himself. We drop with that, and that's how you start. And then you continue in your same, you don't get in a doom buggy, and you continue throughout the attraction the same way. But give me kind of a big drop at the beginning. You know what I mean?
I do.
And get kind of like that give me that kind of Tower vibe back, because I do miss that. I watched somebody do it at Florida, and I was like, gosh, I really missed this. Like,
How-
this is...
How about
Okay.
when you go
Piggyback.
in and the dropping of the body, right?
The what?
When the body drops, right? We hear the scream.
Yeah.
How about if you like get pulled up and then you feel this is where it could get dark, but I'd really like it if you feel that short jerk drop, which would be when
and then you kind of
and then you stay there for a second, then boom, and you come all the way down.
That'd be
That's twisted,
diabolical.
but yes.
It's very twisted, but I would tell you this: a lot of people wouldn't even know what was going on. They wouldn't be like, "Oh,
No,
what?
they wouldn't.
It's like why did we do that little?" It's like, "Oh, it's a tease." It's like, no, that's when you actually hang. When you
Yeah,
the
exactly.
moment you've unalived yourself is right there, and then you fall. That would be crazy.
But I don't know, like, I think that would be kind of cool, like, if we could just, like, throw ourselves in that way.
Yeah.
Because you think about Tower, like, in Florida, like, that elevator, moves, into the shaft,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, like, you get to go through the building. Like, there's no reason, like, Mansion couldn't technically be that way.
Well, and with the way Rise is too, it can kind of like gets, even though that's not a big drop, but it's kind of secure, and then.
But
move
it's,
around.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, there's something you could really do with that. Like, and I mean, I feel like that would be such like an adrenaline rush at the beginning of the ride instead of like the adrenaline rush that you get at the end of like Rise, you know?
Yeah.
Or at the end of Splash, or I'm sorry, to be honest. But like, I don't know. Like, I think that would be kind of like, I don't know, that would be different and fun.
Okay.
So Radiator Springs is out the door. I'm keeping Book because Walt touched it, and then Mansion I would change.
I don't think I can even argue with that. I can't even counter it. I can't even counter with that.
Those are my words.
Okay, Becky.
This is a hard one. Like, I really, this is really hard. I don't think I could get rid of Radiator because I think it brings so much to the other part. And I'm just picturing it at night, and it's so beautiful. I can't get rid of that. And then the other two, Mansion is my favorite, but I am really struggling with that. But I think I would get rid of Book ultimately, but I wouldn't want to, but I would. and then I would keep Mansion. But then as far as something else to do with it, I don't know that I can really give something beyond what you guys have already given. There's not much more, but then also I can't change Radiator. I don't know that there's anything I could change in it. I feel like that one's perfect. So it would have to be Mansion. And I really don't have any changes beyond what you guys have said. Like, I think what you mentioned is great. That makes it a little more of a thrill ride. I do agree about the story. With the updates that they made with the, like, bride's room, I really like all those updates. The last time I went, it makes the story more clear, or at least more clear in that room. And it is more creepy. So maybe, I guess, my change would be incorporating that throughout the whole ride so that it's a little more creepy. Like, maybe at the beginning, you start out and you see, like, a happy marriage, or you see a marriage, doesn't mean it's happy. And then it kind of, like, you just see a marriage. Yeah, I think that's what I do. So you kind of see their whole story play out.
More of a progression.
Through the house.
I like it.
More progression. And, you see the fallout and, like, what it becomes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Because, I mean, there is a big storyline within that attraction, but the thing is that it's not really told.
Right.
No.
Right.
You
Right.
know, like, I mean, you really have to either look or be a Disney enthusiast like we all are and really know the storyline and what really happened. You know, why does she have a second necklace or a third necklace, and each picture, why is one added? Nobody, people aren't paying attention to that. We just know it because we're crazy.
Well, and that's also been kind of added and changed over the time too, because there's the
So
whole
many
thing,
times.
about like falling out the part where you're falling out the window and the backwards drop and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like where does that play in with the bride story? That's
Right.
two different storylines going on.
Yep.
Yeah,
Definitely. So I mean, there's a lot of work that could be done with Mansion, but I feel like we are all we're such diehards for it, that we just accept it the way it is, and it's like, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like Thunder. Like, do we all know the storyline behind Thunder? No, not really. Like, I mean, we do, but there's a lot of people that don't.
Right.
So I think it kind of goes with, do we want to continue down that path or just change things the way we did with Splash?
yeah.
Right.
No, not like Splash.
We're not getting there yet.
No.
Okay,
No,
Udi.
we're not talking about that. I'm sorry,
Okay.
I said the S word.
Yeah. That's the new F word. Anyway, no, I'm kidding. I've been, as you guys have been talking, I've been sitting here thinking, I'm like, you know what? I have done some version of each one of these already on modifying it, because we randomizer just loves to keep on bringing it up.
Yeah.
So part of me was like, well, let me do something crazy here. So this is what I'm going to do. Okay. In this iteration, Storybook Canal boats stay
Oh, okay.
as is. No touch.
Was not expecting that.
Exactly.
I wasn't either.
So now here's the one that's going to go. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
He's going to say Mansion.
Mansion.
Okay.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Okay. Now, then that leaves with Radiator Springs. Now, here, Radiator, and now, honestly, this is why I love this one, because I had a feeling you guys were all going to go where you're going to go. So I'm like, no, I'm going to throw the grenade into this one. So Mansion goes away. Leave it, go back to it, gut it, and let the building stand. It stood there for how many years with nothing going on for it? 5 years? No, it was longer than that. 8 years? How many years was it? Anyway, it's the building. Everybody
Between 5 and 8.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that facade, that building stood there with nothing in it for a very long time.
Yeah,
And everybody's like, what is that? I don't know. Nobody knows. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we can go back to that. You can leave that on, but no more going in. Now, Radiator Springs, it needs to add 2 things to it. It needs a climb and a drop and a full-on drift section. Okay?
Yes.
So we've talked about it before. If everybody remembers, one of the main things that is the storyline in Cars was Lightning McQueen's ability to take that corner in the dirt, right? And then how did he do it? He drifted.
Turn left to go right.
Exactly. We don't have that element in it. Yeah, no, it was turn
Right to go left.
Correct.
One of the two.
one of the two. Yeah, hold on, now I'm thinking about it. You turn. Yeah, it was turn right to go left. Anyway, a lot of people don't know that, or they forget about that. But that was the whole point because he kept on trying to hit that corner. He kept on going over the ditch, over the ditch, over the ditch. Remember, it was over and over and over again. He was trying. Doc was trying to teach him how to control that speed and how to drive properly. I don't know why we don't have that in that, other than it probably being very difficult. But if they did that, it would be great. Like the moment you're going to hit that turn where, I mean, add that in the storyline about Lightning going over into the ditch over and over and over and having Mater pull him out again.
Yeah.
Over and over, and then go, okay, but now we're going to have that where, oh no, here we go again, and then all of a sudden you hit that drift section, and then you're like, boom, and you're drifting, and you literally go sideways.
Oh yeah.
And that could be before the actual race part. But if they could add that into the race part, it would be even better because then you're drifting through the race because that was the whole point of the whole thing. So I know technologically, engineering-wise, it's probably like, how do we even pull that off?
Yeah.
But the thought of that would be awesome to me.
Yeah.
There you go.
I feel like they could do it now with the trackless system that they have.
I feel like it, but my only thing with that is the trackless at that speed is the problem.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The only way I see them doing that is if you're literally moving, kind of what they did, what they do in Rise is how you have your transport vehicle, right? And then they drop you into that one thing for the drop. It would be similar, like move you from car body. So the way it could work is like you have the one body, the one cab that you go into, and then you go work, and then you go through the story arc where it gives you a reason. You know how when you go and you get modified, then that's your excuse to move into the other body and then go into the drift section. So they could literally do that. I mean, it would be completely redoing the entirety of the attraction, but that could all happen. Like that would be great because then it gives you like you actually fit the fact that you're changing your body and you're modifying how you look into the storyline, and it gives them the excuse. It's the same thing in Rise.
Yeah.
You're going, we're going to go into the drop pod, and it gives you the excuse to slide in there and lock in. Same thing. They could totally do all that. That's a good point.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
I like it.
I like it too. I think I'm gonna go with Udi's on this.
Woo!
Because I was talking like before the show about even Haunted Mansion. Is that I know this is like a hot take, I suppose, but I've said this before. Is Haunted Mansion is not my favorite attraction whatsoever. I understand how cool it looks, and as Marcus said, it's one of those things you need there to be going on. I don't necessarily need to go on it. Like I said, I don't find it scary or entertaining whatsoever. I mean, to me, it isn't like funny. I know it's supposed to be all tongue in cheek, but it's like, okay, I'd rather walk around the park than go on that attraction. And I know some people go, oh, I can't believe that, but I just, like I said, I don't get it. So I would keep Canal Boats just because no other park has that. That combination of things and how it's married to Casey Jr. and stuff. I think that is one of the more beautiful attractions that like the park has. As much as you can push the envelope with Rise and Cars as far as the technological aspect of it, there's something very satisfying about how simple that ride is and how like this is. This thing was great in 1956 or 1955. I mean, actually, the way it looked in 1955 is not how it looks now. Like the first year, it looked pretty barren, but it's come a long way, and it's still one of those nice, relaxing things. You can go. I can just escape everything and go on this, and kind of reset. So I would keep that, and I would get rid of Haunted Mansion, but I would keep it there because I think it looks great. Maybe put some tables over there so you can have lunch or something. but Cars, yeah. I mean, exactly what Udi said. Some sort of alternate version. I mean, heck, they're doing this off-road version of Florida. Why not have like an alternate track that you can go on, another line for like off-roading stuff, and that would be kind of fun too. So that is my answer to this randomizer.
Now I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of my answer.
No, you have a great answer.
It was a great answer.
Yeah, it's absolutely great.
Well, and my thing with like Haunted Mansion is, for one, I love the queue area of
Yes.
Haunted Mansion,
Yeah.
especially if I'm there and it's like just turning to dusk, and it kind of lights up. I really love being there during that.
Yeah.
And then I also love the Halloween version so much that I could never have it go away because
Right.
I love
Right.
the Halloween version.
Yeah.
But I also know that that's like not everybody likes Nightmare Before Christmas. It does have a lot of people who do, but it doesn't like speak to everybody.
Right.
But I happen to like that.
Can I make one more change to Mansion to add on to my comment?
Of course.
Get rid of the Home Depot shed and build a proper carriage house.
Oh, there we go.
Absolutely.
Yes. We're going to get to that because we're going to give you a trip review, and I want to hear all that.
Yeah.
But in reality, in the whole truth of things, if Disney was going to move any of these three, I think they would move canal boats.
Yeah.
Just to make Fantasyland different.
Yep.
I think so too.
They would never, ever
Well,
touch Mansion the way we're talking.
No, I agree, but
Well, and it fits so many people.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like
It's a people
fast
eater.
that they
Yeah.
almost can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
They would never.
the beauty of the story though is the fact that it's about story. So there's no like thrill, nothing. It's literally concentrating on each story that
Yes.
you're going through.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of that attraction, and it should never be really highly modified because in its simplicity, like you were saying, it's letting you hone in
Yep.
on story, and that's what it should all be about.
Yep. Absolutely.
Well, and it's different to a certain extent because every boat you get on is going to be different depending on the cast member that you
Yeah.
get.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
So, yeah, nope, it's a different ride every day.
Yep. Every hour.
Or for me, 8 hours a day.
Oh, yes. Okay. Well, that was good for the randomizer. Now, before we get to Marcus's story, because I really want to get to his trip report.
Yeah,
Are
me
we all
too.
good on time?
Sure.
Sure. Okay. This is kind of a little long. We've got a new segment I want to introduce. We've got our pro tips too. We got to go through the pro tips. But you want to do the new segment or the pro tips?
I'm just along for the ride, man.
Okay.
Do the new one.
Okay.
The new one.
The new one is it's called our must dos, and this is going to be for every attraction. Sorry, in every land in both parks, including so every land in DCA, every land in Disneyland, Downtown Disney, and the hotels. And each episode we're gonna tackle one section. And I did throw this into the randomizer. Today's land happens to be Tomorrowland. So the question is, what are your must-dos in Tomorrowland? It could be someplace I like to eat, someplace I like to walk through, someplace I like to just shop or ride or whatever. And it's interesting. Tomorrowland is a very interesting land. Of course, this is the one that's brought up a lot of discussion ever since this podcast has been on. Started closing in on 9.5 years. Yeah, wild, huh? So, who wants to go first? Like, this is one of those things where people may not have many thoughts. I mean, in fact, some segments, like when we get to like San Francisco Square, I'm not sure what I'm going to say about that, or Hollywood Backlot. I have no idea. But Tomorrowland, we probably have some thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So Tomorrowland, who wants to go first? Oh,
Jess.
Jess has her hand up.
I mean.
I'm sorry.
Can I only pick one?
No.
Can there be multiple?
For what? Multiple lands?
My must.
No.
My
No.
must-dos.
No, it could be whatever. It could be multiple.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was like the one thing you had to do when you went.
Nope. This is like
Okay.
what are your must-dos in this is not our single pro tip thing. It's something different.
Yeah, okay. I like it. Okay. Finding Nemo submarine voyage is a must-do. I'm just kidding. I just wanted some facial expression.
Well, you got crickets because I'm
Yeah.
like, huh?
Did you hear how everything went quiet? Like,
No,
okay.
I have two things: space and little green men for pins.
Okay.
The store. Those
Oh,
are my only two things.
well, maybe
solely
people,
because-
just people don't know what you're referring to when you say little green men.
Oh, Little Green Men. It's the gift shop right outside of Buzz Lightyear.
Mm-hmm.
So when you exit the attraction, They send you through a gift shop because Disney needs money, and they don't have as many pins as they used to.
Yeah.
But it's one of the larger pin stores in the park.
Okay. Yes, it is.
Yeah, so those would be my two things. And if I were younger and didn't get motion sick, I would say Star Tours. But
yeah.
that is no longer an option for me.
Okay. Gotcha.
So yeah, those are my two.
Okay.
Quick and easy.
Marcus, Becky, Udi.
I'm waiting. I got mine.
I have some. So, I actually, not that this is that eventful, but the area outside of the other store that's closer to the store when you come out of Star Tours.
The Star Trader.
Trader.
Star Trader, yes.
Yes.
Spent many time
So
a minute in there.
outside there's like a bench or benches and little like planter box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love sitting out there.
Okay.
I do that actually every trip. I realize
Mm-hmm.
sometimes at night and a lot of times during the day, just kind of take a break. It has enough room where I could sit with the stroller. I like people watching. You see people coming out of Star Tours. You see people coming off of Space Mountain, and you're kind of like out of the busy area where it gets congested over by Star Tours entrance and Buzz. And so I really like that area. I also like that bathroom that's in by Space Mountain, the exit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's a large bathroom. It's also like shaded in there, and that's a good place to, if you're with a large party, to kind of go and sit and wait for everybody. I like that, and then I do love Space Mountain. as
Okay.
well.
Okay.
Those would be my like must-dos.
Nice. Nice.
Can I ask the first part you said? Is that where the big water ball used to be?
Yes.
For the kids. Okay. Okay.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure it was that same spot. That's a good spot.
Yeah. No, do you guys like to enter Space Mountain right from Main Street, or do you circle around, come back from Matterhorn area?
Oh, right from Main Street for me.
A lot of times for me, I come the other way, like from Fantasyland.
Mm-hmm.
I would say mostly.
Yep.
Most of the time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Solid answers. Marcus, you want to go? Udi, you want to go?
I'll go. So for me, first of all, Tomorrowland for my family is we really only do it at night.
Yeah, that's that.
It doesn't. I don't love the land that much, but it was always like the last land because we would always go clockwise, starting with Adventureland and then work our way around. So my kids have like really fond memories of Tomorrowland at night.
Yep.
It was really big for them. So it's very nostalgic for them. That means a lot to me, obviously. I don't have a lot of must-dos over there. We do love, I've always loved Astro Blasters and Star Tours. I will one-up your hot take, and I'm about to piss off like most of your listeners, but
okay.
I feel that Space Mountain is the most overrated ride.
What?
I love it, and I love riding it. It is a great ride. It's a lot of fun. It's always broken down. The queue sucks. The queue is just disgusting. I hate the queue. And it's always a long wait, and I just don't feel. I feel even if it were a the greatest ride ever, I still feel like it's overrated because people talk about it like it's just above everything, and it's to me it's like second or third tier. It's just not that. It's not as great as everybody says.
But it is the best roller coaster in Tomorrowland, wouldn't you say?
The best roller coaster in Tomorrowland?
Yeah.
I suppose.
Okay,
Yeah, since the
okay.
people mover's gone.
All right.
But if someone were to ask me like, what's one thing that I have to do in Tomorrowland, and like one thing I would tell them is the monorail, and especially at night, and because the monorail itself is fantastic, but that view,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
my absolute favorite view in all of Disneyland is when you're coming off the monorail in Tomorrowland at night, and you've got that view of the lagoon with the submarines and the Matterhorn behind it, and everything's lit up. It's the most gorgeous thing.
Yep.
So absolutely, even if you don't ride the monorail, go over there at night, climb the stairs, and take in that view, and take a few minutes to just appreciate it.
That is a pro tip for sure. That was on my list.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. You did exactly what I was going to say. So that's great.
Yep. I actually have 3. And I will go with the first one, which will be Star Traders.
Yes, I knew you might say that.
Gotta go. I always go, no matter what. Always got to look at the merch. Always got to walk around. I spend an exorbitantly amount of time in there, more than I should, because I hardly ever walk out, if ever, with anything. But I do enjoy the atmosphere, and it has a lot to do with nostalgia for me going in there, because that used to be the gateway into the arcade. There used to be a lot of different things.
The Starcade.
The Starcade, yeah.
Yes.
And so for me, I still have that memory of all that area. So I enjoy that. So tied directly into that is Star Tours. Now, I know you delicate people can't ride that. I get, I feel sorry for you, but I can.
He's talking about Jess and myself.
Correct. And so I love that. So you have to do it. One, again, even though I have often advocated for time to probably go from Tomorrowland, it doesn't take away the fact that it is still a great attraction. It's still fun. It just doesn't fit there anymore. But for a very long time, for the Star Wars fan, that's all we had. And I'm in that generation. I'm in that bucket of people who we didn't have until prequels. That's all we had. We had that attraction. And the fact that we could go live and be, that was our first taste of being in the Star Wars universe. So the nostalgia factor is super high for me for that attraction. So for me, it's always like, you got to ride it. I always ride it. There's no way around it.
Yep.
And the last one is going to be Space Mountain. I kind of see what Marcus is talking about. Really, when you break the attraction down to its nuts and bolts,
sure,
it isn't all that. But the point, the beauty of that attraction, to counter it, is the indoor darkness of it, which adds a new flavor. So it is a basic roller coaster, really, when you think about it. The queue was never designed to be a huge thing. Clearly, they're trying to do their version of a spaceport, which is fine. But again, if they retooled everything and actually did a storyline and redid the queue going all through, it would revive that. But they're not going to do that. But so that's why I go with Space. It is a fun ride. I prefer Hyperspace Mountain. I like that because, again, touching into the Star Wars element of it. But any iteration out of in Space Mountain is pretty good. So the normal one, what's the one that they do for?
Those Galaxies.
Yeah, there you go. Any of those are fun. Those are all fun.
Yeah.
And they change it up in a very basic, simple way. The attraction is still the same, but they add new touches to it. So that's why I would say.
It is crazy too, like how they change it. Like Ghost Galaxy, when I go on that one, I feel like I'm gonna puke. However they do the lights and stuff,
every time.
Yeah, it makes me feel like that. But I don't feel like that when I'm just on normal Space Mountain. So that's cool, like crazy to me.
Okay. Yeah. That is funny. Yeah.
Very immersive.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so for me, for Tomorrowland, it's interesting. You guys, I'm listening to all your thoughts and comments. So a couple things I want to hone in on for me is that night and memories. So when I was a kid, Tomorrowland at night was like the place to be. The live music on that stage in Tomorrowland Terrace that popped up and down, and it was just, I remember just, neon lights all over the place and music and dancing and just like the West Side should have been was like shut down for that at that point. That was the whole place to be was in Tomorrowland. So I still have that built into my memory of being that way. So I prefer to go there at night. So like my must do's there are exactly what Marcus said. Is even if I don't ride the monorail, I'll go up to the platform, because you can do that, and just take a picture of the Matterhorn and the lagoon there. And there's nothing else to me like inside the park. Well, maybe there's maybe two other spots in the park that I think are just as cool, but I think that is really, really impressive. And I would hate to ever see that go to any kind of frozen land. I just, that would boggle my mind. So I would say go there. You have to ride Space Mountain. And I end up going on Autopia more often than not. So just because it's kind of funny to be out there, I can barely fit in there.
Mark likes the thrill of driving a car.
I love the thrill of driving a car in the open road. Yeah, I'm trying to see America.
Well, compared to what he drives now, that would be an upgrade. His Autopia.
Yeah. You know what?
Driving 4 miles an hour.
Yeah. Hey now. And I do like to walk around towards where Autopia is and take a look at the old Skyway station.
Yeah.
The remnants there, because I know what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, that's cool. It's still there. But that's really it for Tomorrowland. I don't. There's no food or drink that I ever really get there. I did get some Star Wars drink when the first season of the Force. They had like a light and dark thing or something. But other than that, there's no food that I get. There's no merchandise that I ever really buy there. But yeah, it's so those 2 or 3 things for me. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, and I just to touch on what Marcus said about monorail and you.
Yeah.
I don't. For me, I agree with that, but I don't know. I don't put monorail with Tomorrowland. I just don't. I don't put the train with it. I guess it makes sense why you think that. But you got both of those, that view, and I've often said you guys need to come. Everyone needs to either go in. Well, I've always said enter the park at one point and get off. You know, come in your day and begin your day, not going through the main gate, but going through the monorail station and coming in that way.
Oh, yeah.
In the morning, and I will reiterate that, in the morning when the park is just opening and you're coming around, you get a view of the park in the morning that is very, I don't know, it is so kind of relaxing because you're coming into the park and everything's brand new and it sets you up for the day and a point of very optimism, like you're looking forward to a day. And when you can see the park in that state with not a lot of people in it, nice and clean, everything's, washed down and I don't know, it just gets you in the mood because you're in for an adventure of that day. So yeah, I agree with it, but I kind of don't put it with Tomorrowland. That's why I didn't bring it up. But yeah,
no, you're right.
I agree with both you guys. The monorail and that station right there, the views that you get from it, and at night is absolutely spectacular. I don't think a lot of people, when you don't go up that high, this is why I miss Skyway, because we would get that view.
Yeah.
And I didn't bring up Skyway because it hurts me a little bit. Because the view that we would get always from above at night when everything's lit up, you cannot describe it well enough without going and seeing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't have the words. Yeah.
And, if you do stay at the Eden Rock, it is very convenient to come in through the monorail station in downtown Disney and come in to that station that Udi's talking about.
Yep.
To start your day that way.
Yep. I totally forgot about that. Entering the park that way.
Nice tie-in.
Yes, nice. Yeah.
Good job.
Okay. Well, that was great. So Tomorrowland is a good topic for the must-dos. We'll see how spirited we get when we get to a Hollywood backlot. Well, I like to leave. Okay. Quick pro tip for anyone who's going to the park anytime soon. Let's all go around just real quick because I want to get to Marcus's trip report. Again, this is stuff that we normally charge upwards of $500 for these pro tips from the LTP. We're giving them to you for free. This is above and beyond what you can get from Disneyland.com or the app of how to make your trip better. One thing you can do to enhance your trip. Well, don't everyone jump in at once here.
I always have mine. I always want everybody else to go.
I can go first.
Okay.
Something off the beaten path is whether you have kids or not. I think kids might get they might get a kick out of it, but really, if you don't have kids, it's probably a little bit better. But it is to leave the park and go to Disneyland Hotel and go to Trader Sam's. Trader Sam's is a tiki bar in the middle of the hotel. right adjacent to the pool. It is a great way to end your evening, or maybe you're going to start your evening there. But I think it's a little bit better at night because you have the tiki torches going. You have the jungle music, live music going on. They've got a great selection of cocktails. The vibe is completely chill, and I think the food's great over there. So do go and visit the Trader Sam's. It's not really, they don't talk about it too much, kind of like Fight Club and Club 33. But anyways, it's something that I try to do every single time I go to the park. At least one of the nights that I'm there, and I've turned it on to a few people, and they do agree with me that Trader Sam's is a must-visit thing for your next visit to the Magic Kingdom.
I think that's great. The Disneyland Hotel, just in general, is really a special place.
Yes.
I would say it really is. For me, I would say if you're planning a trip coming up,
stay at the Eden Rock.
Yes, please stay at the Eden Rock. Besides that, of course, do that. But next, I would say, since there's so many things going on with the 70th, really try to familiarize yourself with what's going on, like what new food they have coming out, what entertainment they have, so that you can kind of plan your day around it. And you don't need to plan every aspect of your day, but make sure you know what your must-dos are and what's going to be new for the upcoming 70th, and know it ahead of time so that you can make sure you make it happen.
Okay, so you're saying basically look at what food options are there, what snacks are there, what events, special events you want to see ahead of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you don't get overwhelmed at the day of. Yes.
Exactly. And I feel like, right, we haven't been in a place, I've felt, with Disneyland in a while where there's multiple shows competing at the same time.
Well, that's
or like having to plan that.
Yep.
And so I think that it's good, even if those aren't the things you want to do, it still is good to know what's going on so you can avoid certain areas while that stuff is going on, and maybe take advantage of, going on something that you want to go on, or doing something different with your day.
All right. Some good advice there. All right. Looks like Jess had to dip for a second, but she may be coming back on. So let's go to either Udi or Marcus.
Well, I have several that I'll kind of get into more when I get into my trip report, but if I'll just share, if you're a regular listener to the LTP, this will be kind of beating a dead horse, but take the time, slow down. Like we talked about riding the monorail. Do the things that aren't on everybody's must-do list, but enjoy the small aspects of the park. And then this will kind of sound contradictory to what Becky just said, but it's not. But do have some things that are your must-do things, but don't plan every aspect of your day. Have a list, a couple of things that you must do, and then the rest of the day roll with it. Because if you're not going to enjoy your day if you're stressed about getting here or there, or something that you have to make happen that's not going to organically happen. That's it for me.
I like those answers.
Yeah.
Everything Marcus said.
No, spot on.
Yeah, everything Marcus said was spot on. I was like this the whole time. Exactly right. Just kind of let the Disney winds take you where they need to.
Well, my mind kind of goes along with that. One of the things that we've talked about on the show that we have done, and I've got photographic evidence, is go sit on the porch.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It is not an easy thing to do because it is a very finite space, but a lot of people walk by it never knowing that it's there. They're too busy in the hustle and bustle of the park.
Maybe people have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, so the porch is on Main Street. Now, for anybody who's going, you're going to, as you walk down, you keep your eyes to the right. About 3/4 of the way down, there's a porch with a bench and a seat. I have pictures. We went to go and get ice cream, and we moseyed on over. Luckily, nobody was there, and we sat down. I literally have a picture of me with my feet up on the railing.
Yeah.
And just enjoying the as odd as it may sound, the peace of that area, even though you're on Main Street and you're watching this sea of people move back and forth. But the ability to do that is so unique because you're just there relaxing. And the fact that I can be sitting there eating ice cream, watching all the people run around, and you're like, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's weird, but it's centering in a weird way, as weird as that may sound, because you're like, no, I'm going to be calm here and peaceful in the sea of crazy.
Yes.
So there are many places throughout the park that can give you that. But they're a little bit more pulled away. Tom Sawyer's Island's going to be the biggest one where you can just go over there and there's like nobody there, and it's awesome.
Yes.
But it's also more of a chore to get there. That one is one of the easiest ones you can do. Literally just walking down like, oh, hey, boom, and sit down.
Yeah.
And if you haven't done that or you didn't even realize it was there, please go do that. Trust me, you don't have to be there for very long, but it is well worth it.
Okay. Awesome answers. So we got Trader Sam's. We've got plan your visit for the Disneyland 70th. We've got take it easy. We've got two or three must-dos, but then don't have everything planned. Then you've got the porch, and you snuck in Tom Sawyer's Island. Okay, you get a little twofer right there.
Yeah, twofer.
And a bonus to that, the Tom Sawyer Island, the bathroom at the fort on Tom Sawyer Island.
Yeah.
Best bathroom if you've got serious business to attend to.
Nobody's there.
Nobody's there.
Okay, wow, interesting. Yep. That is a pro tip that I didn't think about.
I forgot about that too.
The kind of stuff you need to know.
So is Jess off right now?
Yeah.
Jess, what is your pro tip?
No, she's off.
Hit it and quit it.
Oh, Jess. Again, that's her tip. Hit it and quit it. Oh,
she's not wrong.
She's not wrong. Well, with that...
Are we talking about randomizer again? Okay.
No, a very long introduction here before we get to the feature presentation.
Are you listening to this episode and planning your next Disneyland getaway? Of course you are. You're a member of the LTP. Well, don't worry about your stay. We've got you covered. Check out our good friends at the Eden Rock Hotel. You can visit their website at EdenRockAnaheim.com and enter the code EdenMagic for 30% off your stay. That's EdenMagic. Now go back to planning the stuff that really matters. And yes, a churro is acceptable for breakfast.
Okay, Marcus is in the house, in the LTP lounge, as it were, rocking a Daisyland baseball style jersey.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So this is something that you picked up at the park?
No, actually. But since you brought it up, there's on Instagram I found Park Friends, and they make Disney-themed baseball jerseys. I highly recommend them. It's the most comfortable thing I've ever worn. For extended periods of time.
What are they called again?
Park Friends.
Maybe we will have them on the show.
I think the Instagram is official Park Friends. But I will tell you this. Here's a pro tip. If you do want to order a jersey from them, they take 3 months. Because you custom order them, and then they order them custom made. And they'll do like a period of time where they'll do a drop where the store's open for like a short period of time, and then they close the shop and take all of those orders and order them. So if you're planning it for a trip, make sure you're leaving 3 to 4 months lead time just in case. But they're really.
It looks like they have bomber jackets too.
Yeah, they have a lot.
Doing some recon right now.
They have a lot of cool stuff. Yeah. So
okay, well we should.
I will give them a shout out. I don't have any kind of tie to them other than just I own one of their products and plan on ordering more.
We can have them on the show sometime. Get to know them. What do you think?
Agree.
I love meeting new people.
I would love that because I don't know anything about the people that run it.
Cool. Let's do it. All right. So Marcus is just fresh from a trip to the park with his family and some other friends. I don't know who he went with. I know you went with your family. And anyways, so he's here to talk about it because he was kind of corresponding with us off and on during his trip. And he's got, I've got thoughts on this. Well,
the whole trip I was thinking, okay, I'm going to talk about this next time I'm on the show.
All right. Well, let's get to it.
All right. Well, where do you want me to begin? I guess.
Begin from the beginning. Did you stay at the Eden Rock?
I did not.
What?
Okay, so in fact, we'll get right into a pro tip.
Don't say the Eden Rock.
So no, we so actually my daughter-in-law, she's very good at finding deals and things online. So she found us a hotel that was. We stayed 4 nights. I think it was like exactly $400 or like $402, something like that. So it was extremely affordable. However, you do get what you pay for.
It wasn't the Lemon Tree, was it?
No, I honestly don't even remember the name of it. But here's a pro tip for you. Keep in mind, if you're going to be staying somewhere and it seems like pretty affordable and everything, keep in mind, well, the quality of the hotel was fine. It was good enough. You know, I travel a lot for work, so I'm not saying stay in dingy places, but you know, it doesn't have to be the greatest because that's not where you're spending most of your anyway.
Yeah.
But do keep in mind the distance from Disneyland because we checked originally and they have a free shuttle, so we thought, okay, well that's cool. But the shuttle leaves like a couple of times in the morning and a couple of times at night, and that's it. So if you miss that, then
You're walking?
you're walking or you're Ubering. I spent probably $200 on Uber because we went back and because of the distance, you know, so it would be $20 for.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So do keep that in mind because that is going to pay. Is going to make a difference in your overall cost and convenience. Like we like to go rope drop, but being we're getting older, so we can't always do rope drop to park closing every day. So we love to go to rope drop, then dip out, in the middle of the early afternoon when it's really hot and really busy. Head back to the hotel, take a little nap, take a shower, whatever, and then go back to the park. Well, if you're having to take a 15-minute Uber drive, and by the time you walk out of the park, meet your Uber, get over there, everything, you're talking about a few hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it does make a big difference. So just stuff to bear in mind when you're picking a place to stay. Learn from my mistake and just stay at the Eden Rock.
Yes. Yes.
If you're not staying on property.
Yep.
We never do. But
Okay.
So that's one thing. But yeah, so we went down. Another pro tip: don't go with an extremely large number of people.
Yeah.
Oh,
herding
that.
cats. Herding
Yeah.
cats, I'm sure.
yeah. That actually was that was going to be a topic we have coming up. Is about traveling, going to the park with a group, right, Becky?
Yeah.
Okay.
And a group, not to mention, like, if you add in food allergies and all
yeah.
that stuff.
I don't want to
it's
get
hard.
pizza tonight. I'll go somewhere else. Anyways. Okay.
So we went down. We drove down on a Saturday, and then just checked into the hotel. We met. We drove. It was my wife and I and my older son rode in one car, and then my younger son and his wife rode in their car, and we just kind of caravan down there. And then when we got down there, we met another couple that had flown down to meet us, and good friends of my wife and I. And so we got there, and then the kids had a couple of friends that lived down there. So they went off to meet their friends, and then we went and met our friends that had flown down to meet us. So we went out, and I'm trying to think of the place we went now. Is in Anaheim, the Cannery, I want to say.
The packing
Packing
district.
district.
Yeah. That place was fantastic.
Mhm.
That's awesome. Yep.
Yeah, we loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Several really, really good cocktails. So I don't know if we've ever gone anywhere that wasn't away from the Disney properties.
Oh.
Honestly,
Yeah.
but my friend, he's real big on bougie cocktails and beer and stuff. So
Yeah.
So everything. Actually, I work with him too. Everything he ever plans is based around where he can get the best quality alcohol.
Okay.
So it was more like following his dream. So so that's what we did the first, and then we went we Ubered back over to downtown Disney, and spent the evening doing that, walking around and just, looking at the shops and just kind of getting in the mood and listening to Disney music and
Yes.
being around Disney people.
It is good for that.
Yeah, yeah. So that's always my favorite thing is to get there the night before we go to the park and then walk around downtown Disney and just start getting into the mentality and the mindset and being around mouse ears and things.
Yeah.
It makes you, it like feels like the equivalent of like Christmas Eve, where you're so excited for the next day.
Right.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Just getting like, you start and you're hearing the sounds of the park and you're seeing them, the taller structures over the fence and you're just like, oh yeah, it gets you so excited. So yeah. And then we went to the parks for 3 days, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We went and we did just a single park ticket. So we went Disneyland on Sunday, DCA on Monday, and back to Disneyland on Tuesday. We thought that Sunday would be pretty busy because the weekend, and then Monday and Tuesday would be slow. It was insane. Sunday was a dream. I mean, everything was just. I don't think we waited longer than 40. No, the only ride we waited for an extended period of time was Rise, and that was 65 minutes. And that was because we were clocking it. That was including the 65 minutes included all of the, the pre-show stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Because so if it said 65-minute wait time, and it was exactly 65 minutes, dead on. And so just so you know, the whatever wait time is posted, that includes the pre-show stuff, which is probably 15 minutes of that or so.
Yeah,
give or take. But yeah, so Sunday was a dream. Monday and Tuesday were just insane. It was the worst I've ever seen the parks. It was. I mean,
what did you think of downtown Disney though? Any comments? Anything you liked or didn't like? Did you see the new Parkside Market and stuff and the stage?
Yeah, we didn't. I didn't note too much that was new. It was more. I was focused on kind of like getting my friend acclimated and getting him like comfortable being there. They're not really. He's like a once a decade Disneyland person.
Yeah.
Although after this trip, he goes, I realized I love Disneyland a lot more than I thought I did.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Perfect.
So,
I liked the reaction you posted. I believe it's of him doing Rise.
Oh yeah. He was because he's a big Star Wars. In fact, that's the way that we convinced him to go was he hadn't seen Galaxy's Edge.
Oh geez.
And he's
Okay.
a huge Star Wars. Like all of the prequels, he camped out like the night before. Like he's a diehard Star Wars guy. And so yeah, when he wrote Galaxy's Edge, I had to post his reaction because he was just like. He went into it knowing nothing about it at all. He hadn't seen any POV videos or anything like that. He knew nothing about it, and he was just blown away. But yeah, we can get into that when we get to Galaxy's Edge.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just the first night. We walked around downtown Disney. We went in the what's the Star Wars store there? That
Star Wars Outpost or something.
Yeah. And so that was fun. We had a little fun with that. But it's funny because between that and at Galaxy's Edge, he said, I would be so much more emotional about all this if I didn't keep getting pulled back into, all the modern, the sequel stuff. It's like Udi's been saying. He's like, I'm just being like hit over the head with Rey and the First Order and all the new stuff. It's like give me the Disney or the Star Wars that I grew up with.
Right.
And he would see stuff and start to kind of get a little emotional, and then he turns his head and he sees BB-8 and it's like it just it takes you right back out of it. So it's just neat to hear an outsider's perspective because we've been all saying this for years. But,
Sure.
Someone outside of the echo chamber.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm looking for what is it? Self
Affirmation?
Yeah, affirmation on that one.
Or self-validation.
Validating. Yeah, there we go.
Well, there you go.
I like that.
There you got it.
Yeah,
So.
I think everybody's gonna be like, yeah, we know. Yeah, I'm just waiting for Disney to be like, yeah, no, we know.
Yeah.
Let me ask some questions here. Because I always have questions to ask.
Here comes the interview.
please do.
Here comes the interview.
Were you planning on getting any merchandise before your trip, or how does that work for you normally? Because I know Jess's answer needs a sweatshirt every time she goes, and
And a lounge fly.
and a lounge fly. Becky will buy whatever. Oh, we didn't ask Becky. Shit. Sorry, we didn't. We never asked Becky about the Lululemon stuff.
Oh,
She was not on the.
Yeah. Okay. Well, after.
Let's get that mark. So how does that work? Do you?
It depends on my budget. So this time
Reasonable.
yeah. Yeah, so there have been years in the past where it's like, let's just get there and like we're gonna pack sandwiches every day.
Yep.
I just want to get there and get home. And this time we did plan ahead a little bit for that. I mean, we didn't need much, but I wanted to get a hoodie, and then my wife wanted to get ears. She wanted to have like a couple of pair to to go with different outfits. Because the thing is, like, the ears that she had wouldn't go with any of her outfits. So
I can totally relate to that.
Accessorizing.
Oh yeah, no, I'm like I'm the most understanding husband on earth when it comes to that kind of
Sure.
I'm the only guy I know that wears ascots somewhat regularly.
I'm never going to show you my secret collection of ascots now.
Ascot,
Oh
yes.
man, no, please, I want to see them. We can compare.
I want to see him.
So you got that cool zip-up hoodie.
She got a zip up. I didn't. I got the pullover.
Oh, the
hoodie.
pullover. Yours is the green one.
Yeah. I got the green one with the old school Disneyland D on the front, and then on the back it says Disneyland Resort. I think it has the castle.
Which zip up did she get?
She got the one.
I think it's the same one that Jacob has.
It's like an off-white. Let me see if I can pull it up while I'm talking. But actually, you know what? Yeah, because I think I just. Never mind. I thought I just posted a picture of her wearing it the other day, but I think it's a story.
Oh,
It's probably gone. But anyway, so yeah, we. I'll find a picture later, Becky.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so that was one thing. Like, we had to go make sure we got some stuff, before the next day. So
Okay.
did that. Got a couple of drinks at the. Or no, we didn't actually. That's right.
Oh.
We had reservations at that round bar.
Oh, Centrico.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We had reservations there, but it was like the night just kept getting later, and so we ended up canceling that. And
Yeah. Plus, apparently, you're staying like 2 hours away from the park.
yeah. That's the thing. We had to plan the return trip to the hotel. So
Yeah.
So yeah, that was night number. Well, I guess that would be day zero.
Day
That wasn't
zero.
Day one. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So and then day one, hopped up and went down for rope drop.
Mm-hmm.
There was a little bit of confusion getting in because our friends had some issues with their tickets. They had bought them a while back, like several years ago, and then weren't able to use them. And he had made reservations, and it let him make reservations. And he talked to somebody at Disneyland, and they said, "Yeah, you could still use the tickets."
Mm-hmm.
But then when they went to actually check in at the gate, it wouldn't let them. And so after several cast members getting involved, they finally figured out that they just had to pay the difference between whatever the cost was when they bought the tickets and what they would cost now. So
What?
I don't know.
Wow.
Well, because because technically your tickets are good, I think, for a year from the purchase date. You're supposed
They got to use them in 1 year.
use them in a year.
Oh.
And his but that's why he had called Disneyland and asked them, and they said,
Yeah, to know ahead of time.
yeah, they said he could use them, but because the price has changed so much since then, they had to pay the difference.
Okay.
So
Can
anyway,
I ask what the difference was? Do you know offhand or no?
I don't know. I know it
Okay,
was
that's okay.
it was enough to piss him off.
That's always a great.
So, yeah.
That was a great way to start your
I'm
Disney
sure it
trip
wouldn't
off.
be like an anticipated,
Yeah,
spending price.
I want to say because it was two of them for 2 days. I want to say it was like 150 or 160 for the 2 days difference or something like
Oh.
that. It wasn't a whole lot, but it was just kind of it was more of an irritation and an inconvenience than anything. But we were already in the mindset of like we're not going to let anything
Yeah, of course.
bother
yeah.
us, So I tried to keep that mindset through the whole trip.
Okay. Oh, and how long had it been since you've been to the park?
I haven't been in 4 years.
Oh my gosh.
No, 2021 was the last time we went.
So 4 years. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, We're usually we've consistently been like every other year at least.
Mhm.
Sometimes multiple times, but in that time period. But yeah, this was the longest stretch I think we've had.
Okay.
I think even since COVID, or even with COVID. I think.
Jeez. Okay.
So yeah, I was well overdue. That's for sure. So we started and that was the thing, is like day one was the only day where there was like a little bit of stress because everybody had like stuff they had to do, you know.
Oh, the must-dos. I see.
Yeah, and that's where the little bit of that, like, I wish we didn't have such a large group, but
Yeah.
because with us, so it was the 5 of us, my wife and I, my 2 boys, and 1 daughter-in-law, and then the 2 friends that we had with us,
7,
and then the 2 friends of my kids' 2 friends.
Yeah.
So they were there too, and so it was 9 people, and then everybody kind of started going separate ways, and that was kind of. But it's in one way that's great because then it's easier to navigate the park and stuff. But then on the other hand, it's kind of like, oh, well, I kind of wanted to hang out with the kids, But
Yeah.
but, I mean, that's also just learning to let go. So
It is. It is.
you have grown children, you know what I'm.
Yeah. There's one actually right behind you right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know that's the thing though. I've come to find out that now when I go with my daughters, we just kind of travel as a pack. We never ever break off. If they do Star Tours, I'll break off with them for a little bit. But for the most part, just the 3 of us or whatever, or just kind of 4 of us, we'll just as a group. And we I put up with all the taking pictures of the foo coffee here and here and here and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we generally don't break up. I mean, to me, it's as you're saying, it's just fun to be with your kids and experience things and laugh at things and try food that you normally wouldn't want to try anyways. Like chocolate. Like my daughter got this chocolate covered pineapple thing, and Becky, I told you that Valentine's sweatshirt that my daughter got. It's white, and she goes, "Oh, well, I have to try this chocolate pineapple thing." I go, okay, so we went over there, and it's just oozing chocolate. I'm thinking, please do not get this on this sweater. And no, she didn't, but it's that kind of crap that you got to deal with. I mean, it's very fun stuff, but it wouldn't have it any other way.
Well,
anyways.
and having 3 or 4 people,
yeah,
you can facilitate that. Whereas having 9 people, it's like even if we all want to hang out together, it's kind of limited because when we go to eat, it's like. Trying to find a place that would get us in with 9 people, it's like, so yeah, it was a bit much. It was definitely too much. But whatever, that's fine. I'm happy everybody was there. So
absolutely
everybody's company. I will say this trip, I noticed especially that all of the food and drink that we had was really good.
Oh,
everything was really good.
Okay.
In the past, I've had good and bad food at Disneyland.
Yeah.
This time, everything was great. I mean, even if it wasn't really, like, oh, maybe I wouldn't order that again, or that wasn't really to my taste, but all of it was good. It was just good. Everything was really good.
So you ate. Go ahead, Becky.
Oh, I was just going to say, now, did you guys make reservations for dining ahead of time, or was it forever?
Not ahead of time for the trip. The only reservations I made was, again, I have to keep alcohol in mind for my friend's sake. He's not an alcoholic. I'm making him sound like an alcoholic.
No.
He seems like distinguished. Like he likes finer things.
Yes.
A little bougie.
Yes, bougie is definitely the word.
Well, Udi likes finer bourbons. I wouldn't call him bougie though.
No, we all do. Yeah. So the only reservations I made ahead of time were for the first day at Olga's Cantina for cocktails, and that was just for both times. It was just for the 4 of us, my wife and I, and Nick and Angela. So we had Olga's Cantina on day 1, and then in DCA for Carthay Circle for cocktails. So
nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I have a question about all this stuff too.
We'll get to all of that.
Okay.
I don't even know where I was in the order.
I'm sorry.
We were talking about having nine people there, and then
hard to make reservations or hard to get into places.
And then you said because you didn't want to branch off with the kids or whatever, and then that's when I interjected saying, well, when we go, we always kind of just move along as a group. There's 3 of us, but that's All right, so
But no, yeah. So we got it. I mean, we got in and did everything that everybody wanted to do. You know,
Yeah.
like my daughter-in-law, her favorite ride is Big Thunder,
okay.
and so we ended up riding that first, which isn't my normal go-to. Our go-to has always been going back to the days of.
Yes, marking the pirate shirt.
Back to the days of the fast passes.
Yeah.
We didn't even think about it. We just head in, you get a fast pass for Indiana Jones.
Yes.
And you go over and ride Pirates.
Yes.
And then you go back if it's time for Indiana Jones. You know, if not, you do a couple things and then
Jungle Cruise.
But yeah, and then and that was our one like have to do thing was Indy because it was closing the next day.
Oh yeah,
It's closed for like 6 weeks or whatever.
yeah.
So we had to ride Indy. Well, of course it was down. So we walked past Indy, and then the line for Pirates had already, it was extended beyond what I was willing to wait at that point. And so we went over and did Big Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't remember the order after that because I remember I texted you guys by lunchtime. We had ridden like 6 really big, e-ticket attractions by that point. Because we'd done like Big Thunder, Rise, Pirates, Indy.
Yeah.
It was just like everything. We were just flying through the park at that point.
Sent a picture of you having lunch at Rancho or something?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We had lunch at Rancho twice, actually. Udi would be so happy.
I am very happy.
What did you get there?
So the first day I got...
Important questions.
Yeah, I got a wet burrito.
Oh, yeah.
Which was really good. I will say, after praising all the food, Rancho was the one place that I felt was like not as...
Up to par?
Well, it was good. It wasn't as good as I remember.
Okay.
Because you didn't have enchiladas.
It was fine. I had a burrito with enchilada sauce.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Not really.
It's literally the same thing. It's all of the same stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's a tortilla with meat, cheese, and sauce.
Yeah, you can't go. That's a classic. Okay. Okay.
But no, it was great. We did Rancho for lunch. We did Cafe Orleans for dinner.
Okay.
Because that was the one place we could get 9 people in.
Okay.
Had fried chicken and jambalaya, both of which were fantastic.
Okay.
Oh, good to know.
So good. Yeah.
That's actually one restaurant I've never been to. It's Cafe Orleans.
If we had done it, again, I probably would have just got the jambalaya and split it with my wife because it was like more than enough food. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the chicken and the jambalaya, it was a ton.
Overload. Yeah.
Yeah. We were full. And that's the other thing is like all the food was really reasonable.
Yeah.
People talk about it like it's just insane to eat there, but it's expensive to eat out anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It
So
is.
yeah, it's not that much difference really between Disneyland and any other.
No.
For the quality of food, I feel like you're getting the quality that you're paying for. I really do.
Okay.
I agree. We felt that this last time too. It seemed a bit better than the times before, and I felt that it was fair pricing for what you got.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I felt like everywhere. We always ate until we were full, if not more.
Yeah.
And now I will say the beignets at Cafe Orleans I like better than the ones. I don't know where you get them normally, but where the mint julep bar.
Yeah.
That's exactly where you get them.
Yeah, yeah. I like the ones at Cafe Orleans better. I don't know if everyone would agree with that or not.
Have you had the beignets at Beignet Express in downtown Disney?
No.
Oh, it's super good.
Okay.
Yeah, super good. That's a little tip right there.
Well, I will keep that in mind as now I am a magic key holder.
What?
Yes.
This is shocking news to all of us. We did not know.
I know. I haven't sent out the announcements yet, but
Yeah.
Now this was kind of an interesting trip for me because I'm type 1 diabetic, and this was my first trip knowing I'm diabetic. So like having to take insulin and all of that.
Yeah.
Now here's a pro tip because I have a continuous blood sugar monitor, continuous glucose monitor that in my arm that sends to my smartphone.
Yeah.
So I can keep track in real time.
Oh.
So you always say here that calories don't count at Disneyland.
Yeah.
And I can actually vouch for that because even though it's not tracking calories, but it is a good monitor of how your body is digesting food.
Yeah.
And all of the walking. I mean, I'm eating some of the worst foods that I could possibly eat as a diabetic.
Oh yeah.
But with all of the walking and everything, it kept like very stable. So you literally, the calories are burning off.
It kept it balanced.
As
Yeah.
fast as you're eating them. Yeah. So when people say calories don't count at Disneyland, you can 100%. You have my approval.
There you go.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
sounds like a pro tip.
Yeah.
Is it-
I'll never forget. I'll never feel guilty for what I eat at Disneyland
Nope.
again.
Nope. Yeah.
So calories don't count. Then that's good to
Calories don't
know.
count. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the food. Now what questions? Now what? Now lead us somewhere else.
Go ahead.
Oh, I've got many questions. I just don't know where in the order of things.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
talk about stuff.
Well, I mean, pretty much anything Disneyland is fine right now because we're in Disneyland for today.
Okay, cool. So, what were your thoughts of the new area with the French Market? Because a lot of things have been added since you've been there. So not French Market, but Tiana's Palace. Well, we got this Palace. The whole new area right there where it used to be like Magnolia Park.
Oh,
With
you know what? We didn't really spend a whole lot of time. Or that was the one thing, and this is another reason I don't like going with a huge number of people. I felt like we were kind of getting pulled around a lot of like,
Yeah, you will.
Yes.
you know, because everybody's got their like what they really want to do, and there's not a lot of just moseying and
Yeah.
taking it in. So
Yeah.
so we spent a lot less time on the stuff that I love, which is like, all those little, New Orleans Square, the little shops and, as Walt would say, shops and things.
Shops and things. Yes, you're right. He would say that.
Yeah, but we just didn't we didn't get to a lot of that, which is unfortunate.
Okay.
Now, if you want my take on Tiana's Bayou Adventure,
I'll get there in a second. But
Okay.
what did you think about? What did you think about the gift shop outside of Haunted Mansion?
I will say it didn't look as bad as I expected it to, and then I found out why because I watched a YouTube video and a guy was talking about the actual like paint and stuff.
Oh,
that they use
Bricky.
on-
You watch Bricky stuff?
Is that who it was? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't. It wasn't somebody I normally watch, but
Yeah.
when they initially put it up, they just slapped like some paint on it, and it just stood out. And then they went back later and started adding texture and
Mhm.
stuff, and so it wasn't as bad as it could be. It's just so big and just it's in my biggest complaint with it is it just blocks the view. As you're coming over from
Splash Mountain.
no,
is
I'm
called-
gonna still call it Critter Country.
Yeah, there you go.
If you're coming from Critter Country.
Yep.
Because Winnie the Pooh doesn't live in no bayou.
There you, a hot take right there.
As you're coming over from that side, you can't even see the mansion because
Yeah.
of this. And I would be fine with that if it matched the aesthetic of the mansion.
Yes.
Why would they build a
Yeah.
coach house that looks 100 years more modern than the mansion itself?
Yep, that was my worry when they announced it. I'm like, if they follow the concept, it'll fit, and then they kind of did. But yeah, you cannot take something and make it look brand new. I'm like, you need to dilapidate.
Yeah.
Dilapidate it.
Well, and they did a little bit of that with aging and stuff with the paint and stuff, but it's just the style of it. It just doesn't. It doesn't fit. It's not the same era, so it just. So that was the biggest complaint I had with it. Other than I just don't care about any of the. I don't need a Haunted Mansion merch shop. It's not.
No.
It's not. It's not
I do,
marketed to
but
me.
Oh no! I mean, for some people, that's great. And like I said,
Oh yeah, it's probably their biggest. If you biggest seller for merch as far as
Man, I know. I wish they would put the bazaar in it, the one that's in the bazaar in Adventureland. That should be full of indie stuff and Jungle Cruise stuff. That's what it should be.
Right.
But you've got Hurley and Billabong in
Oh, I
there,
know.
and it's
Yeah.
like, what's all this shit doing here?
I know.
And then I don't know, Lilo and Stitch are there or something. It's like,
Yeah.
what is all this stuff doing here?
Yeah, no, I'm wholeheartedly agree with you.
Oh my gosh. All right. So, kind of a hit or miss then with the shop for you. It doesn't really matter. More
It's
negative.
It's more negative, just
Yeah.
because it's blocking the view, and it's just the fact that they could have done it better,
Yes.
and but they don't care.
And the merchandise isn't really anything unique. Like I was
Yeah.
expecting it to be a lot of unique stuff, and it wasn't.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. Well, and the shop itself isn't. There's not much there. It's a small.
It's
really
small.
Super
shop.
small.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like it's more of a storage area, like whatever's behind the shop. That
Yeah.
they must be storing merch back there or something. But
Yeah, because you go, well, this is going to be a pretty big shop, but this is
No.
what's going on here.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't feel like they could have just left everything over in pieces of 8 where it was. and
Yep.
just, you
Yep.
know, I'm fine.
Well, I mean, the problem is that they didn't execute.
Oh.
That's it. I mean, you can have a small shop and everything like that, but if you don't execute it properly, you're going to have everybody going like, "Why is this here?"
Yeah.
So all the pictures I seen or videos, I'm kind of like, they didn't execute.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I was there, right? It was before it was open, right? When I was there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I called you guys and told you, like, how terrible it looked just because of the way that it blocked the view.
Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that was before they added the texture, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they opened it. See, to me, I'm just going to go without going on a jag. They took too long to open it, and then in a rush to deliver, they don't do it properly. That has been Disney's MO for a very long time now. They rush because they're taking too long, and then when they deliver, like, well, now we got to fix it. No, you should do it right from the beginning. But anyway.
Yes. Okay. Well, let's move. Dare I even ask the next question? We're going to move.
Sure. No, let's move right into
Let's
it.
move a little west over the bridge into Bayou Country, and
Okay.
let's. And I'm hoping you prove me wrong, but let's hear what you say about Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Or as my friend Nick called it, Tiana's DEIU adventure.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you went there.
Oh, wow. He did it.
Okay.
Oh, man.
It was well. The good thing about going on that ride was now I never have to do it again.
Okay.
Okay.
It was just again, as Nick said, he said they took, and this is someone who has only been there a couple times in his life. He said they took one of the most iconic, memorable experiences ever, and beloved, and turned it into an okay water ride.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It makes the storyline makes no sense whatsoever.
Okay, so he's in league with me on
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
And the whole thing is just like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no build up. There's nothing. It's just there's nothing.
Yeah. There's nothing going on.
And you're like, all of a sudden, like, are we shrunk down, or what's that all about? That makes
Right.
no sense. It was just stupid. None of the songs are. It's a bunch of like kind of generic Dixieland jazz playing.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then what's the big song at the end that they're singing?
I don't even
Can
know.
Anybody?
Is this Zippy Doodah?
No, it's
No.
not.
Oh, it's
Zippity
not?
Doo
Oh,
Dah.
okay.
It used to be.
Oh, okay.
It used to be, one of the most memorable songs in the history of songs, and now it's
Turning around.
now it's
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't think of what it is.
no.
It's like you're the spice or whatever.
That's
Just
right.
like
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Well, and that's the other thing is like, there's like a mix-up between the two storylines that the story they started and then the story they.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the original story was supposed to be that you're the spice that
Yeah.
we're searching for, or whatever.
You're the missing ingredient.
And then they realized that's stupid, so they came up with another stupid idea and like,
Yeah.
oh, we're looking for musicians for a band. And,
yeah.
See
Which
if we
is
can-
so dumb.
Is this a bell that they cannot unring?
No, they can fix it. They can they can 100% fix it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they're not going to.
They're not going to.
No,
They're not going to fix it.
and you know how to fix it?
I don't know.
They need to shut
Blow
it down.
it up?
No. Shut it down for another year,
Yeah.
and then tell the original story. Done. You tell the original
Yeah.
story. Bring in Dr.
Like,
Facilier.
Tiana's yeah.
Exactly. You go back to that. You
Bring
bring,
in
back.
Ray,
Yeah, exactly.
Good, memorable characters.
Correct.
And
Bring them
memorable
all back in
songs.
and just take you're the outside. You're the you're walking along and you're in the story, but you're an observer of the story, but you're part of it. You do that, and everybody's like, "Oh, this is amazing." That was the beauty of Splash because you're along for the story. You're following along. You have all the characters and everything going on. Like any good attraction that tells a good story, you feel like you're part of it. The second you disconnect from that, you lose.
ruin it.
You lose connectivity with it.
Yeah.
So, if they did
Well,
that,
and it would have been great, like, if they could have done that from the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, even Dr. Facilier,
Yeah.
like would have been incredible at the top of that final drop. You know, are you ready?
Add some drama.
You know,
Yeah.
are you ready? And whatever. And then
Yeah.
they drop you, and then you come out, and you know, it's all fine and dandy and happy.
Yeah.
But I mean, and it's always hearsay, but I heard that a lot of the issues with that was because he was
Voodoo.
a voodoo doctor.
Yeah. They didn't want to touch that, but
And they didn't want to touch the voodoo and all this and that. But then you go and look at Madame Leota.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they've had him as a character walking around New England Square.
And he's epic when you see him. I love
He's incredible.
Incredibly
Unless
good.
You go with Shannon, and then she thinks that it was Prince.
Oh, yeah.
He does have the pencil thin mustache. And he wears purple.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of the most iconic moments of my life. Was walking around New Orleans Square with her, and she's like, "Look, it's Prince." I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!" Because she hadn't seen the movie yet.
Okay.
But yeah,
That's amazing.
But, no,
Yeah.
I mean they had a prime opportunity
Yep.
right there.
They could
And
they could have done that, and then we would not even be talking about
Or done nothing.
if it's good. Well, no, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, once they decide they're going to get rid of it, that is the path they should take. Is that we're just going to tell the story of the movie.
Yeah. Okay. So, was there anything positive you liked about it? I mean,
No,
okay.
no, not at all.
Oh, well,
Like I
at
said,
least
I mean,
you're honest.
It was fine. It's not like it wasn't a horrible experience or anything. But it's just like I said, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's just an okay, and I'm not willing to wait in a long line for okay.
I agree. I mean, but at least, like for me, I think it looked cool. I mean, as far
Yeah, like the colors and everything like
Oh,
that.
and the grass on the mountain
I felt
was
like there wasn't enough of that though.
okay.
There was a lot of like wasted.
Dead areas.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
dead areas. Yeah. Yeah. I just
Okay.
that's it. It's fine. It's done. What's done is done.
Yes, you're right.
So they're not gonna fix it. So
Where
So,
were you sitting when you went? Like, how wet did you get? Because I hear that people are like getting just drenched.
yeah, there was a lot of water. I sat in the back of the boat, and I was there wasn't anyone right in front of me, and I actually was able to get my feet, like my legs crossed behind the seat,
Fine.
and I held my backpack in front of me.
oh,
So I got virtually
Minimal.
no water whatsoever.
Okay.
They did yell over the speaker as we were like just about to hit the drop. They'll put your feet flat on the floor, but at that point it was like too late to resituate myself. So
yeah.
I'm like, I'm just gonna risk breaking my legs. But I made it through okay. So there's another pro tip. No, that's not a pro tip.
No.
So,
Keep your feet on the floor.
Udi, you still need to ride this, and you will ride this, so
I
you
will.
can sort of join in the
Yeah, I will.
hate
All
parade.
right, Mark, have you wrote it?
I did. Yeah, I read it with the girls.
Becky, you've wrote it.
Yeah.
So, Udi, it's just me and you, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I will say that
Right.
the people toward the front of the boat did get
Yeah.
soaked. But what's funny is
That's,
they all got soaked on the second drop. So there's
Yes.
each drop like kind of builds in intensity,
Right.
and the second one was the one that really got them.
That second one's a dilly.
Yeah.
The slip and fall. I think it's called, you used to call it like slip and falls or something like that. Was the name of that part of the? Yeah. Yeah. That. Yeah. That.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's a dilly. That one I always, even on Splash though, that one always got me.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, this just frustrates me. I don't want to open another can of worms with this. I'm just going to close the can. But it's just
No, open it, Mark.
no. I don't think it'd beat a dead horse again. It's this whole thing is so unnecessary that we're even having this conversation. If Splash Mountain was again one of the most iconic attractions musically as well.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're in the Esplanade and you hear a zippity doo dah, I'm thinking, oh, this is gonna be a fun day.
Well,
Yeah, I'm in Disneyland. It's a great day.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a great day now. We have to take this off the music loop. Okay, and then whatever. 2020 was a bad year for us.
Could you imagine if they would have taken the money they put into redoing that entire ride and just revamped Splash?
Oh, yeah.
It'd be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
What they could have possibly done.
Or even just left it for a little while and started Disney Forward stuff.
Well, we're not even gonna. Yeah.
Actually, like,
Pull it back
the
in.
money towards something good.
Pull it back in.
Dude, just put the country bears in there. Okay, we're gonna pull it back in there.
Oh, country bear.
Yeah, exactly right. All right, so we will not talk about TBA anymore on this episode. So let's go. Did you try anywhere new to eat inside Disneyland? Did you go to Hungry Bear?
No, we didn't go to Hungry Bear.
Okay.
No, well, yeah, I tried. We went to Olga's. I've never been
Oh, yeah.
there before. It was good. The drinks were good. I don't like that they have a time limit.
Yeah, I don't like it either. Yeah.
Like it's a 2-drink maximum, 45 minutes
Yeah.
maximum.
And you got to go. Yeah.
And then
I hate that.
so I didn't like that. And they sat us at a table with other
Yeah,
people,
I hate that.
you know,
I hate
like-
all of that.
Yeah, I didn't really like the way that place was run. It felt like they couldn't wait to get you out of there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't want to go somewhere when I'm trying to relax and feel like I'm inconveniencing the staff.
Yeah, in fact, I've never even been in there because anytime I walk by, there's a long queue to get in, and then exactly what you guys are saying. You feel like you're getting like the bum's rush, right?
Yeah. Well, and then if you wait in the queue, it's just standing room at the bar. If you have to make reservations if you want to actually sit down at a table. And
Yeah.
so it was. Yeah, I mean, it was fine. The drinks were pretty good, and we got some good pictures and stuff. But
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you go for a vibe. I mean, but I do not like that at all. I don't like the mixed table thing. I hate that. It breaks it up and it makes it less secluded or less intimate, at a level like that where you could really have that bar be really intimate because of how it is.
Yeah.
But they don't. I mean, they would be smart to expand that if they could.
Now, why somebody has not opened a regular bar like that somewhere is beyond me. Like that
Within the park, you mean?
No. I mean outside of the Disney Corporation.
There are a few popping up,
Are
like
there?
kind of like that. You can find them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if I could go in like I could walk into a normal any pub or whatever, if I could walk into a cantina like that and still have all the vibe and everything. Oh man, I'd be all over that.
Yeah.
Even like change the outpost to be that on downtown Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That's what.
the cantina.
Oh, geez.
That's what I was hoping they were going to do when they announced when Rainforest Cafe closed, and then they said they were going to put something Star Wars in there. I was really hoping they would do a Star Wars restaurant or a bar or something.
Oh yeah, that would be epic. But no.
No, or indie one, but anyways.
Yeah, either one.
Or an
Oh
indie
yeah,
one.
of course, yeah.
Okay. So I think how I'm going to ask this next question because we talked about this a couple episodes ago about Disneyland, and this is going to, I guess, tie into you getting an annual or Magic Key. Is how do you want to use Disneyland for you? I mean, and I don't mean to be like it sounds superficial. Oh, I want to go and ride rides and all this other stuff.
No.
But I'm trying to go a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want out of the park, and how do you want to use Disneyland in conjunction with your Magic Key?
I like to go back and forth. So if ideally, and honestly, like I was telling you guys before the show, this is probably the worst year for me to buy an annual pass or a Magic Key because I've got so much stuff going on in my personal life.
Yep.
I don't know how many trips we're going to get out of it. But ideally, I would like to do 1 or 2 trips. Well, maybe 2 trips like this, where you've got the whole family and maybe some friends, and we do a big trip, and you have to do everything. That's all the e-ticket stuff. Maybe one of those trips now, and then one at the end of our year. And in the meantime, I would like to do 2 or 3 smaller trips for a day or two. Like I would love to take a trip with just my wife and I, and that would be the kind of trip where we're doing a lot less of the stuff that you wait in line for.
Right.
Yes.
And just a lot of, I would love to have a day of where you like, if you're not even allowed to ride a ride.
No, totally.
You just have to spend the entire day walking around and just taking it in and just, going in the stores, doing the restaurants.
Yep.
Maybe if you do a ride, stuff like the train, the Mark Twain.
Yeah, exactly. Those are two exactly what I'm thinking of when I was winching. I was thinking, what
right? No, I can
talking?
see it in your face. No, that's what I mean. But I mean the stuff that other people think of as rides. So that's the kind of stuff that's what I really enjoy, and that's when Disneyland like gets to me emotionally.
Yeah,
rides are fun, and everybody wants. You want to feel like you're getting your money's worth. So
sure,
you got to do the big ticket stuff. But yeah, I'd like to do a couple of trips, or just a lot less pressure. A lot less running around. And
That's yeah, exactly what I'm thinking. I mean, I love your answers on that because that's how I want to use it too. So you want to go like 2 or 3 times a year then, right? And then, well, maybe 2 bigger trips and then 1 or 2 smaller trips.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 4 trips, 2 big trips, 2 little trips would be fine. I feel like I got my money's well worth.
Oh yeah.
More than my money's worth out of it.
Did your boys get annual passes too?
The older one did. The married one did not because he has,
He's got priorities now.
He's got bills.
He's got bills. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. The older one doesn't have the same responsibilities. So
yeah.
That's
but
funny.
he also doesn't have the same income, so I don't know how he's going to try to make his pass work. Whatever. That's his problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Well, good. And did you feel like, was it a spur of the moment purchase for you?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, it's weird.
On all your emotions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally. Because I had talked to Marty about that before. When we bought these tickets, I said, why don't we get annual passes or Magic? I keep forgetting they're called Magic Keys.
Well, we know what you're talking about.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we? And she, no. It's like, because she's always saying that, like, all you ever want to do is go to Disneyland. I want to do other trips
Sure.
too.
Yep.
But then once she gets there, she's like, oh, she's so in love with it,
Yeah.
And so we were there. I think it was the 3rd day that we were there, and she was like, well, maybe why don't we come back in like a couple of months, just me and you? Because by that time we were kind of burnt out on the whole big crowd thing, or big
Group.
big group.
Yeah.
She goes, let's come back in a couple of months, just me and you, and for a day or 2. And I go, all right. And then, well, if we're gonna do that, then let's see what it would take to upgrade our passes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was definitely a spur of the moment thing, but whatever.
No, it's funny because you were texting us a lot on your trip, and it looks like you're having a great time, smiles all over the place. And then at some point, I go, do you think you might want to be getting an annual pass? And you said, oh, we're just getting in line. We're going to City Hall or something like that.
Yeah,
Right?
I was at City Hall, and actually, which you don't have to do. I just didn't know how to do it on the app, because the one thing is, like, I went on the app and you could do it, but you'd have to pay the full amount. And we're budgeted for the trip. I'm like, I don't want to spend any more money outside of this trip.
Sure.
So I'm like, is there a way that we can do it with and still make the monthly payments?
Yeah.
And so that's what I went to City Hall to find out about. And yeah, you can do all that on the app. It turns out you just have to put in your zip code. It needs to know that you're a California resident.
Oh,
before
okay.
it let you do it.
Got it.
So that was the thing that I was doing wrong. But so if anyone's listening, you can do it on the app. Just
Okay.
Well, I guess now it doesn't matter because they're not selling Magic Keys.
No,
but
they're not.
Boo.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you got it, and I'm glad. I mean, your reasons are your own, but they're totally in league with my reasons too for the park. And okay, cool.
Yep. You know what's funny though
Yeah.
is what we were thinking of, like, well, when can we come back? To make our return trip, and we've got so much stuff going on. I go, well, we've got like our anniversary's in July, so I had planned a trip for us in July for our anniversary. I thought, well, maybe we can do this instead. Well, July's all blacked out, so we can't do it.
Oh yeah.
So that was the one
yeah.
thing, is getting the Magic Keys. I'm like, oh, well, now we've got blackout dates to deal with.
Yeah, that's another thing they need to fix too. I mean,
Foiled again.
the foiled again. Yeah, I mean, they need to make some tweaks on the annual passes. But
Whatever. I mean,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
never bothered me because I was figuring, well, we're always planning the trip in advance anyway, so we'll just plan around
yeah,
around blackout dates.
sure. Yep, absolutely. The old AP Magic Key.
Yeah.
No, the Flex Pass. Yeah, was the way to go for us. Okay, so you go to DCA, and I saw your bill at Carthay Circle. No, I've never. This is on my list to go to Carthay Circle. So you recommend it?
We love Carthay Circle. We've been once before.
Okay.
Went with the whole family, and the food is really good. This time we wanted to go and just sit and have cocktails. I can't remember if we ate anything or not. If
You
we
did actually. 'Cause
Oh, did-
yeah. But in fact, I know this because you showed us your bill, and I was, and this is me. I'm kind of out of my things, going, what? I go, how did your bill get that high? And then I saw some appetizers on there.
Oh, okay.
What
yeah.
they were,
So
I don't know. Bao buns or something.
Yeah. I honestly
I
don't
don't remember.
I honestly don't even remember. Whatever it was delicious.
I can tell you, I probably have it on my phone.
Yeah, but I honestly don't remember what it was. But
Was it the restaurant or the bar or lounge you went to?
we went. So that was the thing. We got there. We had reservations, and then we get there, and they're like, okay, yeah, come right this way, and they seat us outside.
Oh,
You know, so you're like basically like on the sidewalk, and I was like, for the amount of money we're about to spend, like I'd really like to be like we made reservations. We wanted to be inside because that's the whole thing, is the whole
yeah.
aesthetic of the place, you know. So we asked if there was anywhere else they could seat us, even if we had to wait, and they just moved us right into a table.
Oh, nice.
In by the bar. So
No, they're not running upstairs seating anymore, are they? Or is that special?
they are. That's what was that for? Oh, that was for so they have a lunch menu and a dinner.
Okay.
There are lunch reservations and dinner reservations.
Okay.
And the lunch reservations, you know, the food is a lot more limited, and it's a lot like everything's a little on the cheaper side.
Oh.
And then the dinner reservation is like a full service, you know, a real dining experience. So they reserve it upstairs for that.
Okay.
That's what we found out. And it turned out to be perfect timing because there was like a crazy thunderstorm that rolled through. And it was right when it was like hailing.
Oh,
It
geez.
was insane. And it was right when it started right when we got in. So when we got out, the park was like a little bit emptier but all the rain was gone. So
Yeah.
that was great. But yeah, we stayed there. Like that's the thing, has made it so much better than Olga's Cantina because first of all, we're not at a table with people we don't know.
Yeah.
You know, the drinks are better because Olga's is great, but they're like themed drinks.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You know, and Carthay is like a speakeasy kind of aesthetic, and so the drinks were fantastic. Well, in fact, my friend Nick, this guy knows bourbon.
Oh.
Believe me, he knows bourbon, and he knows old fashions. He said that was one of the best old fashions he's ever had.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a really good drinks. I hope I'm quoting him right. I might be thinking of a different.
Funny you mentioned that restaurant you had reservations for at downtown Disney Centrico.
Yeah.
They've got really good old fashions there.
Oh yeah, I think I've had one there before. I don't remember honestly, but
I had one with Jay.
I know I've been there to drink, and
Yeah.
that's my go-to drink. So I probably
Okay.
have. But yeah, Carthay, there was no rush. You know, and we go, is there a 2-drink minimum here or maximum? You know, and the guy goes, well, no, not really, because it just kind of depends on who your server is, and
Okay.
if you're getting out of hand or anything, you know. But,
Getting unruly.
but yeah, he's like, but if you guys are cool, then you know, well, it's fine. So I think we had 3 or 4 each.
There you go.
Yeah, and we were there for quite a long time. It was a really nice break in the middle of the day too, because you know you're walking so much, and like just to be able to sit down for. We were probably there for an hour and a half, or
Nice,
maybe even
yeah.
longer. Yeah.
Yeah. It's on my list.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been there, Becky?
No, I haven't. I definitely want to. It just has to be a time where my parents or someone is with us and can take the kids. We were supposed to when we went a couple years ago, and then it was when I was pregnant, and so by that it was the last day I think we had reservations, and we were just too wiped out by that point to like keep our reservation.
Probably shouldn't do 4 cocktails when you're pregnant anyway.
No.
Maybe 3, but not 4.
Yeah, no, definitely no more than 3.
Yeah, I recommend it to anybody. It's, but you know, be prepared to spend the money because you saw my.
Yeah.
I saw it.
you saw
Yes.
the bill.
Yeah.
It was not cheap. Oh, and here's the kicker too. Then to make the bill even like add a little insult to injury, we get the tab, and Nick and I will usually just wherever we go, we'll just split the tab in half. Doesn't matter who ordered what. We'll just split it in half. Just make it easy. You know, we all ordered pretty much the same stuff anyway, so it's going to be about right.
Yeah.
So I go, okay, we'll just split the bill in half. So we give them our 2 credit cards, and then they bring it back and give us the thing to sign. Well, at the we both of us. Well, and then the other thing is we'll look over each other's shoulder, like, what are you tipping? Just 'cause I don't want to be the cheap guy, you know.
Sure.
And so I don't know which one of us did it first, but whoever did the math in their head based on the total bill instead of half. You know, we paid half the bill.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we ended up paying, you know, I think we ended up giving them like $60 each for a tip.
Wow.
It should have been half
My
that.
kind of people.
Yes. Yeah.
I know. So that waiter had to be like, all right, these guys were.
And that's the secret to not having to stick to the 2 drink maximum.
There you go.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
You give them double your
I don't
tip.
know, greasing.
And this was prior to your Magic Key, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Even better.
Yeah, when we realized it, both of us were like, "Oh man, well."
Oh,
well."
did
I mean,
he-
But the waiter was cool and everything, so I
Oh.
was like, we made his night. Whatever.
There you go.
That's-
Yeah, sure. You got to give them magic sometimes, too.
yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, and again, when you're at Disneyland, you're spending money everywhere, so it's
Just
like,
go crazy.
Yeah, so you just kind of whatever.
Yeah.
I want to make a comment about your $45 drink, but we're fine.
Well, that beats my $37 drink.
Well, no, your $37 drink is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I didn't order any of the $45 drinks because I didn't.
No mugs to bring home.
No, I didn't bring any.
Oh, but what was the mug you would get? It was a Star Wars mug or something. Oh, it was the Mandalorian thing, whatever that thing's called.
The Mythos score.
Yeah,
Yeah, that thing. Okay.
There was one at Olga's Cantina that I thought about getting. They have a, and you can actually get it in the gift, or not in the gift shop.
flight?
But yeah, the flight.
Oh, in the I know you're talking about.
I don't know what that is.
What's the trading or the?
Docking Bay 7?
No.
No, there's
Where what land?
in Batu.
Oh, you mean where you get like the crystals?
Yeah.
Oh, what is
I
that?
don't remember the name. Doc Ongar, sorry.
Doc Ongars.
Yeah. You can get it there too without the without anything in it, but you can get it at the cantina. It's a flight and it's got like 4 beers, and each of they come in these little cups that are, I don't know, ceramic glasses, I guess, that they're supposed to be bantha teeth.
Yeah, they're different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're-
okay.
Yeah, really, really cool. But I thought about it, but it was pretty pricey. I'm like, what am I gonna do with it? Honestly, like, I'm not gonna drink out of it again. So, yeah.
Okay.
and honestly, I'm so like emotionally detached from Star Wars at this point.
Yeah.
Oh.
I really have very little Star Wars memorabilia left. I've sold all of my cards. I only have a couple figures left. I'm like,
Oh.
I'm so bitter.
Oh,
Thanks.
well, we're not getting on that jag right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
We're getting the 4 hours of this. Okay, so Magic Key, and you got that?
Yep. Now
Good.
here's one thing I will say, since we're still talking about California.
Yeah.
So the one thing that oh my God, the crowds were insane that day, and so we kept checking Radiator Springs, the wait time.
Oh yeah.
Never got below 200 minutes.
No, I won't.
What?
It was insane. And so eventually we finally we bit the bullet and just bought the
Lightning Lane?
lightning lane for it, because it's that's you buy that lightning lane for that is a la carte. It's not part
Yeah,
of the
the
package.
single.
And it was like $20 per person, but I thought if the line is 2.5 hours, I'm willing to pay $20 to save myself
What's your time worth?
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Because I figure if you go for, I did the math. I figured we were paying about $10 an hour to be there just for our ticket price. I'm like,
Oh,
so $20 for 2 hours. That's
yeah.
fair. So, because with the lightning lane, went right up. It was 5-minute wait and got right on and took off. Because even the single rider line was,
Yeah.
and we're with 9 people, so we're not going to all do single rider.
Yeah.
So, to me, I just kind of chalked it up as like, well, we just added $20 onto our ticket price, whatever.
Sure.
It's worth it because we had to ride it,
Had to be done.
Yeah, had to be done. So there's that.
Yes. So does any of this make you want to go to the park, Udi?
No.
Oh, Udi, come on.
I'm kidding. Yeah, no. Every time I hear a story about people going and having a good time, it makes me happy. Makes me want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I second that. It doesn't make me want to go at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't?
Nope.
I
I
know.
have absolutely. I know you can't see me right now, but I have absolutely no desire.
Yeah.
Because
I'm sharing a lot of negativity, but it really was overall. I mean,
Yeah. How did the park look, like aesthetically?
it looked good. See,
Uh-oh.
I'm trying to be positive.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was fine. Everything was fine.
I mean,
That's the problem, though, is everything was fine. Where it should be
Amazing.
Exceeding
that was
expectations.
my wife's big thing was like when we left, she's like, this trip just felt different. Like I didn't feel the Disney magic that I normally feel. But I think a lot of that was kind of on us because this was our first trip where the kids are grown and kind of doing their. I mean, they've always like kind of run off and done their little thing for a little while and come back.
Yeah.
So we're dealing with that. I mean, we still haven't really adjusted to him being married and out of the house.
Right,
so.
right.
Yeah, I could totally see that from a parent perspective. Like
Yes.
Just, even though I'm way far away from that stage, and thinking about going through that stage with my own parents, it is such an adjustment. I think even like for a mother and a son, that's even a different adjustment, or a different layer than maybe even a daughter and a mom. And so I could totally see how you'd feel some sadness, even though it's such great things that are happening. They're growing up, they're changing, they
That's what
are starting their own family.
That's what you raised them for. That's what you want. That was the whole goal from the beginning. But when it comes time, it's like,
No, that's
so
hard.
I don't know how much of it was that, like the bittersweetness of watching the kids grow up, and how much of it was just that Disneyland's dropped the ball on a lot of stuff, So
Well, maybe the park would have a different meaning for you now and have a but a different spot for you to go emotionally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I think it will probably, and even you going alone with your wife is going to be nice. And I think even though you could be a long way from it, a short way, the time you go and you have grandkids possibly one day, I think that is going to be like a opening up.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for that. That day. I love little kids and doing stuff with little kids. Like I can't wait to, and with grandkids it's even better because then I don't have the responsibility of them.
You can do all the fun of it. You don't have to worry about like managing anything.
Yep, it's just the fun parenting.
Well, I'm really curious about what your attitude is going to be when you just go with you and your wife.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the last trip that I made was with the entirety of my family, so it was like 9 people. So I get that whole aspect of it, but I don't know. I had a great time when I went, but I'm in the same camp as Jess. Is like there's so much that has happened, and we can see that it isn't even there anymore, like what it used to be. So it's difficult because. I don't know, maybe not to throw shade at any of you guys, but you guys have been there, right? And so once you're in, you kind of have that adjustment of view, like I'm here, and that is going to, for lack of a better word, taint your feeling for it. We have such an affinity for the park that we can't help. So I know for a fact I will be guilty of it when I go. Yeah. And the ability to separate your emotional desire for it to be amazing from the reality might be a little bit difficult to disconnect and like really take it in for what it is. So it's much, and I also know this, that it's much easier for me to throw shade at it, not being in the park now for 2 years.
Yeah.
And so it's easy for me to dissect all that up. So I'm very, very curious because being with your kids and having not your typical trip is definitely going to affect, because it affected me. Like I had to.
It feels off.
Yeah. Like you're like when I've gone with Mark, which anybody, we're all the same. So we vibe the same. When you go with your family, and especially with my family, we're nothing but a bunch of alphas. All of us are. So we're all trying to we're going to do what we want to do. And even though they're looking at me like, well, what do you need? What we need to do? I'd be like, well, I think we need to do X, Y, Z. And be like, oh, okay, we're going to go do that. I'm like, well, okay, fine. And that's fine. Yeah. But it is a different vibe. It's like, and I had to I remember on the way down, I'm like, this isn't going to be my typical trip. This isn't going to be what I do.
This isn't Udi's trip.
This is not. This is with the family. The point is to be with my nieces, my nephews, my brother, and my mom. And that is the whole point. So don't get caught up with well, we need to do that and we need to do that. And so that's why I'm super curious, because then you'll be able to actually connect back in with what you had before all the extra things that get thrown into it.
We had to keep that mindset a lot too. I mean, we knew going into it. I will say I'm so happy that our friends came, because that made the trip for us, or for me at least, and it was fun because them not being big Disneylanders. It was almost like I got to experience it
Yeah.
with like it kind
Yeah.
of took me back to when I had
Mhm.
when my kids were small, you know, and I was like,
Mhm.
I kind of felt like my buddy's like he's my little buddy that I'm carrying, you know, like
Yeah.
skipping along with him, you know, like I want to sit next to Nick on the ride, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And so like yeah, posting the video of him, like I couldn't wait to get out of Rise and see his face because I knew
Yeah.
it was just gonna blow his mind.
Yeah,
And, like,
yeah,
yeah.
That was like one of the highlights, and I knew it would be one of the highlights of the trip for me was like introducing him to that, you know. And-
Well, yeah, that reminds me because I was able to. I was with Joe the first time he wrote it, and I have video of him when we came off of it. Like
Yeah.
we wrote it at night, and he came off, and to look at the face of just disbelief and astonishment and amazement of what you just went through
yeah.
is there is no other. I mean, even Jess liked it. So, and then no, I've had the pleasure and utmost been super lucky to be with a ton of people who have ridden that. My family, same thing. None of them had ridden that. So I don't know how do I put it, but the joy of being with people who have something that's so amazing and
Yeah.
being with their first time to experience that is you can't replace that. It is absolutely priceless.
Well, and they're such a great couple for like we get along so well with them. Like we all vibe really well, and so they were just like the best people to be there
Cool.
with
Yeah.
outside of my family. So
Yeah.
so that definitely made the trip for me. But
Okay.
um,
Did you guys go on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway?
yes,
What
yes.
What'd you think about that?
I loved it.
Ah, all
Yes.
right.
Yeah. The only complaint I had was that we got in too quickly because I wanted to enjoy the queue.
Oh,
Yes, yeah.
I felt like we just moved through it so fast. Like I
Like,
feel
no,
like
no,
that
yeah.
queue was set up to be like an hour and a half wait, and it was like 10 minutes maybe, if that. I don't know if we even waited. Like we pretty much just walked right in. So that was the only complaint because I really wanted to spend some time. Like if I wasn't with the group, I would have just walked slowly through it and like just sit and look at stuff, you know.
Well, now you have a magic key, so you can
Yeah.
take your time.
That's what magic keys are for.
Yes, they are for that.
Disney magic.
Okay, so this is a long episode, and I know listeners are being very patient with going through. So if you made it this far, thank you so much. And like I said, I'm going to say this in real time. I don't know if I'm going to make this a 2-episode one or not, because it's a long one.
Yeah, sorry everybody.
No, don't worry. I know we're up against the clock. Do you have anything else you want to talk about on this trip? Or you can come back and talk more about it later if you want.
Yeah, I'll come back. We'll come back.
Okay, let's
we'll
come-
do a part 2 or 3 or whatever.
I like it.
Yeah,
Yes. Wow. If we can get Udi to get a magic key, how fun would it be for 4 of us to go?
It'd be a good time.
It'd be a very good time. Very good time. Okay, well, let's put a pin in it for now.
Yeah.
Because it is late on our end. So let's see. We talked about a lot of good things on this episode. So thank you so much for hanging out with us, spending your time. I'm sure you listeners have probably had to pause it many times and get through it and get on your life and come back to this, but thank you for that. If you need more of our show, what's wrong? What's this?
Nothing. I'm just saying.
Oh,
hello.
okay. If you need more of our show, every other Thursday night between 6:30 and 7:30, LTP Lounge is live. We've talked about 2 or 3 topics regarding Disneyland or Disney. And usually it's a pretty good time. It moves by really, really fast because we have a pretty good group that shows up. A lot of good commentary. Okay, so if you want to reach out to us, you can send us an email at info@leavingtodaypodcast.com or follow us on Instagram at Leaving Today Podcast or go to leavingtodaypodcast.com in general, and you can help support our show that way. Becky, where can people find out more about you?
You can find me on Instagram at Becky_Weimer, BECKY_WEIMER.
Awesome. Jess, the game changer herself. Where can people find out information about you?
You guys can find me. Hang on, let me get out of here. I'm cleaning something. You guys can find me on Instagram at StorybookJess. I actually deactivated my Facebook. So you can't find me there anymore because I was over it.
Okay.
And you don't really use Snapchat because I don't go to Disneyland anymore. So I would say just Instagram at StorybookJess.
Okay. Awesome. Udi, Where can people find out more?
You can find me on my other show, The Mando Show. We don't have anything yet, but we will have one reviewing the first 3 episodes of Andor Season 2. And then you can find me on my socials, which are Twixter and Instagram, both the same handle, HAXGOALIE, Hacks Goalie.
Okay.
And I respond to all my DMs.
Yes, he does.
Okay.
Marcus.
Marcus knows well.
Yes.
Do you want to give out your socials for your rock and roll show coming up?
Well, so I'm on just Instagram, Marcus Butler. I spell Marcus wrong. Marcis Butler, Beutler. Or there's the band is Mark Butler and the Bottom Dollar. We're really just called the Bottom Dollar now, but I haven't dropped the Mark Butler part yet.
Okay.
Holding on to it.
Yeah. Well, I think there's another Bottom Dollar on Instagram
okay.
already, so I'm trying to figure out what Instagram handle I want to do. But
Okay.
But yeah, that's it. I mean, that's if you like, old honky tonkin' rowdy music. That's
Yeah.
us.
Mhm.
If you like good quality music by musicians, then you're gonna want to listen to A Touch of Grey.
Edge of Grey.
Edge of Grey.
Edge of Grey.
A Touch of Grey is very Grateful Dead-esque.
Yeah. Sorry, I think that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
As long as, yeah.
But you guys, thank you. But you guys are
50
playing a
Shades of
show
Grey. Yeah.
in Virginia City.
Yeah, we play Virginia City almost every year, and that's like the highlight of our year because
We gotta go.
Dude,
yeah.
but if you driven out there, getting out there is kind of.
I know.
Okay.
I've been out
It's
there a couple
worth
times.
it. It'll be worth it. Believe me. Get a room. Come up this year. It's August 16th.
You guys playing at like the Bucket of Blood Saloon or
no,
something?
we're playing at the Red Dog. My aunt actually owns it.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
And so we always play, but it's always a good time. It's a great place.
A rootin' tootin' time.
Yeah, we're gonna have
It
to go.
is. It is.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for spending time with us today, Marcus.
Thank you guys for
Yeah,
having
thank
me.
you.
Yeah,
course.
thank you, Marcus.
Yeah,
Anytime.
thank you. It was good to talk to you, Marcus.
Yeah, you too.
And we'll be back with episode 220 in a couple of weeks. All right. Until then, we love you, adventures out there, and we will see you in the parks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
You come on the show and you start finding your nails.
I love you. You automatically blame me when she's sitting there with my
Can you not see this?
So here, I'm
We
gonna
need to
tell
figure-
Mark. I'm gonna tell Mark the plan here.
Oh, there's a plan.
Yeah,
Wait, which plan?
the one because you're gonna be on live.
My body's just stiff.
Remain seated, please. Permanense status, por favor.
No, I will give you one.
Not that one. Pick a different one.
No bed sheets.
Why are you yelling at me?
Because I like yelling at you.
snack break.
Kitty.
It's like a breath of fresh air.
Boy, was my face red. Oh my goodness.